we got a lot to talk about today. I'm gonna wait for people to come back. If you're gonna watch this as a repeat, just bear with me here. I'm waiting for people to get into the live. And once people get into the live, we can take it from there. Let me tell everybody in the Discord I'm live so they can see what's going on here. Uploads, there you go. Announcements. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for people to get back in, and we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff. We're gonna look at the charts. I haven't looked at a chart now. Well, let me not say in a hot minute. I looked at the chart while I was away, a little bit. Tried my best to kind of be on the money, but it was tough because I was on vacation. So yeah, that's an interesting situation. I'm gonna wait for everyone to get back in here, or for people to get in here, and then we'll take it from there. In the meantime, let me message some of my peeps. Let them know I'm live now, and they can hop on. Today's gonna be a chill day, by the way. I'm exhausted, so I'm gonna be waiting for, like I said, people to hop in, and then, as you can tell, like my usual live energy isn't all the way there, but I'll turn up eventually. So yeah, let's just get some people in here. Let me respond to some of these things here. And then let me go to Discord, go to general. I think that's where everybody's trading now. And everyone, what's going on? If you just joined, what's going on? What's going on? I'm just letting everybody know that I'm live right now. Join me. I got a lot to tell. Yeah. All right, so that's it. I'll let everybody know I'm in here. To the one viewer who's on here right now, shout out to you. Let me know who you are. If you're not really social, it's all good. We're gonna talk about some trading. Let me pull up my trading view so that you don't feel robbed as you get into this scene here. We're gonna talk about some trading. One of my Discord mod sent me a list of pairs that he wants me to analyze as well. So we're going to be doing some analysis. We're going to be talking about my interesting situation that happened in Colombia. We're going to be doing a lot, just waiting for the people to kind of hop on. As they join the stream, I'll talk about it a little bit more. But for those of you who don't know, Black Hole say, hey, bro. Mac Frost, what's up? What's up, guys? I'm glad to have you guys back. I missed you guys. I hope you guys missed me too. It was kind of weird not, live streaming for the week that I was gone. But I did speak to a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys hit me up on Instagram and even in the Discord, and you guys were chopping up with me. So it was still pretty cool. But yeah, it was an eventful trip. If you guys want to see some of my trip, you can go onto my Instagram and check my highlights. If you missed my stories, they're going to be in my highlights. I haven't uploaded the last day or so, but the first 2-3 days are still on there. So you guys can kind of check it out and see what that's like after the live. Black House said, first, what's your view on EU? Yeah, I know. We're going to get to trading because everybody was hitting me up saying, bro, I need you to come back, bro. I need you to show me what this thing looks like, what you think is going to happen, this, and that. Like I was saying earlier, my mod sent me a list of pairs that he wants me to analyze. So we're going to do all that today. All right. So let's, what am I doing here? Let's delete these things here so we can get a fresh slate. And we can take a good look at EU. All right, EU. Let's start off with let me get rid of this as well. Let's start off with the weekly because we need to get an idea of what pair we're dealing with. As you can see, just right off the bat, right, you can see that price literally has been going up for the last, generally for the last decade or a couple decades. And then recently, I want to say as of 2015, let's say EU's been kind of going down. So just looking at this, we can say as of right now, we're in a bit of a short-term bearish trend, but this is a pair that generally was going up. So that helps me to understand what type of pair we are looking at. RZX Kashi say, hey, bro, what's good? What's good, bro? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the family. Yolomi, what's good? What's good? I have a lot to share with you guys, man. I missed you guys. Hope you guys missed me too. We got a lot to talk about. Right now, we're analyzing EU for, I believe, Black Owl. So we're going to look at EU. When everybody kind of hops in here, then we will talk about my experience in Colombia. All right. So We're looking at EU. You can see that again, EU for the most part, just to make it a little bit more visually representative. You can see for the most part, EU goes up, down, and then essentially we had something like this. Bro gave us a lower high, right? Bit of a higher high, eventually another lower high, and then not a higher high, lower high, and then a lower low, and now we have this corrective channel. So what I'm anticipating in this short term is that price is going to find somewhere within this region, maybe even up here, and then continue its downward descent. Okay, now when I look at it like this, there's a couple ways that if you are new to trading, you can kind of get a good idea as to where price is going to retrace. There's a couple things. One, you can use your Fibonacci. Obviously your Fibonacci is one of the easiest ways to kind of get a good idea as to where price is going to struggle the most. And you can see as soon as we got into that golden zone in between the 50% and the 61.8 level, you can see price is kind of, you know, reacting to this level. Okay, so let me just do this so you guys could see, because I'm going to take the Fibonacci off. Where is it at? Right here. Okay, so you can see right within this zone, this is where price is responding to. You can also do what a lot of traders do called support and resistance. So what's support and resistance? Basically, you look at where price has been reacting to over time. So you can see somewhere in this level, price is just literally every time it gets to that level, you get some sort of a reaction, right? So price came up in here, sorry, touched, pushed up, touched, pushed up, came in here, kind of played around this area, pushed down, touched, push up, right? So there's a lot of touches in this. Now, these things are a little bit subjective, so you can move them a little bit. You can say, okay, I feel like it's more like this because this has more touches, or you can pull it down. But the whole point is that somewhere within this area, we have a lot of touches. Okay, so that helps us to know that we're within a zone where price should either break through and go up or push down. And because we're bearish, we're anticipating it might push down. So let's go down to the daily now. Professor, welcome back, bro. Glad to be here. Welcome back, bro. Glad to see you guys. I missed you guys. I'm glad you guys are all back in. Like I said, we're going to do some analysis and we're going to talk about my experience. My mod sent me a bunch of pairs that he wants me to analyze. So if you guys don't bring them all up, I'll go through the rest that you guys miss. All right. So now we're looking at the daily. Again, we're looking at market structure, and you can see we had this channel here. Okay. We had price within this channel. It's a poor drawing, but just bear with me. We had price in this channel and price broke up, and because price didn't shoot back up consistently like it did here, the way it's retracing slowly tells us that it's most likely just making its way up here, looking for some zone over here to push down out of. Okay, so this just confirms our analysis. All right, now let's go back down to the 1 hour. Now that we're in the 1 hour, things are a little different. So we understand overall price should be looking for sells and on the longer time frame, but in the short term, in the last since April, we've been trending upwards, not strongly, but somewhat, right? So we've been going up, down, up, right? We're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right? So here we are now. So this means we're anticipating in the short term that this is where we're going to go. Now, the question we have to ask ourselves when we get here is price, let me put this back on, is price going to go up this way, or has it already started its descent and we're looking to catch a sell towards the downside? This is what we got to figure out. Verd said, yo, welcome back, bro. What's good, Verd? Welcome back. Like I said, I missed all of you guys. We have a lot to talk about. I missed you guys. Didn't even notice you were live. Oh shoot, I put it in the Discord. Like twice. DJ said, welcome back, G. DJ, shout out to you, my brother. DJ was messaging me like every day, bro. Caramel Life said, my boy, what's good, Caramel Life? He's another one. He's the one that sent me all the pairs that we gotta go through, and he's the mod for the Discord, guys. So like I said, I missed all of you guys. A lot of you guys messaged me while I was on vacation. Happy to be back. We got a lot to talk about. So we're analyzing EU Blackfall. A request that we analyze EU. Alan Monk, so what's up, bro? What's good? I miss all of you guys, man. I can't wait for us to just keep this going. All right, so for EU, now that we know that for the the last couple months we've been going up, we understand that on a bigger time frame, this is an area of contention. This is an area where price may reverse or start acting weird, right? So on the 1 hour, we have to discover or ask ourselves, are we going right to pull back from one of these areas here, whether it's a support, order block, gap, whatever the case is? Are we going to pull back from somewhere in here, right? Or are we just going to continue and make another higher high? Because technically, that's what we've been doing for the last couple months. So the way I would look at it is this. Overall, in this short term, we are bullish. And as much as we're in an area where price has where price is likely to go down. Even just by this structure, I can see that we've made a higher high, and depending on what happens here, this might be a higher low or a lower, a higher low, a lower high, or whatever it ends up forming, right? So I would say for now, we are still overall bullish. I do understand that this trend here is our most recent trend. Okay, yeah, there we go. I do understand that this trend here is our most recent trend. So technically, this is an hourly chart, right? So it's still strong. But when I look at this, this tells me we're still in a bullish formation, okay? Because we went up, we're breaking towards the downside, but there's still a chance we might go this way. All right, now I'll make my decision as I get closer to the lower time frames to show you guys what my overall analysis is. Okay, we can look at other things as well to determine where we are in the market, where we're going. Remember, this is on the 1 hour. Now, I'm a scalper. So if you're a swing trader, you're going to approach this differently. If you're a scalper, you're going to approach this differently. If I'm swinging, I'm waiting for certain structures, okay? So if I'm swinging, for example, I can see here that price was making higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher low. And then it started to make a lower high. How do we know it's a lower high? Because price broke this recent low, okay? This is a short, really small swing low, but it's still low. So price broke this low. Now we have a lower low. You can call this a lower high, right? Didn't really break that, but it came back up here, broke this low. So we're making lower highs and lower lows. So the question we got to ask ourselves is price going to retrace from anywhere here, or is price going to continue to go down? And for me, if I'm swinging, right, I'm still waiting for more confirmation. To me, this wouldn't be it unless I was like my entries like on the half hour or in the 15. Then I would consider maybe getting in from a scalp around here. But if I'm swinging, I'm waiting for higher time frame confirmation. And what do I mean by that? Price right now, again, even though I'm seeing this type of structure, it's not enough for me. I haven't gotten into the area in which I want to see price do what it does. It's kind of tapped it a little bit, but I want to see price do this. You see how price came in here and just like pushed with some momentum. Right now we've got about 3 candles, not bad. I need more volume than that, right? And I need structure to change. Once price breaks this level here, then I'm starting to think, oops, wrong one. Then I'm starting to think, okay, let me get in for a sell. If not, I'm looking at this as we're still kind of in that channel. We might be going upwards. All right, so let's go down to the 15-minute now. Because remember, we are in a, even though we're going down for the meantime, we're still somewhat bullish. So now I have to draw out my areas of interest. Now, because I'm scalping at this point, I have to consider this trend. Okay, I'm scalping. This is from a scalper's perspective. I have to consider this trend. We were going down, okay? And now price is breaking above this channel. So what I got to ask myself is, where can I find a retracement? If I'm going down, if I'm bearish, where can I find a retracement? Is it going to be here, here, here? Where can I find a retracement to go back down? And nice. This is a good start to the week. 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. So yeah, as I was saying before, my sign came down. If I'm scalping, this is what I'm looking at, right? So whenever I see price come, like price is going down, and all of a sudden I get this like consolidation right here, right? And then it starts to go out. I always look left to figure out what happened. Now, when you look left, you can see this, okay? So this is some sort of an area where price has some juice in there, some interest, something that the market seems to enjoy reacting off of. So what I got to ask myself is this a strong enough level to cause a reversal or a continuation towards the upside? Or is this just a little retracement and it's going to pull back here? So if I came in here today, let's go back to, where are we at? Let's go back. Today would have been, today's September 2nd. So I would have been on the charts around 7 normally, right? So right here. Cool. So if I came to the charts right here, this is what I'm looking at. I can see we're already retracing to the upside, but I can see this massive gap right here on the 15. Massive, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark this up. Bearish FVG, okay? And then I'm going to consider some gaps towards the upside. What does that mean? It means I got to look at some areas in here and see if there are any plausible gaps or areas that might take us towards the upside. We have one right now being interacted with. Okay, I trade on the 1 minute, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. There's one right here being interacted with. Okay, we might just be catching the wave, we might not, right? We might have missed it. So there's one. And then we have a bunch down here. Okay, I would most likely after that consider this one. This is the one I'm looking at after that. But you guys know my rule. I consider all gaps because you don't know which one price is going to decide to use. So I mark up, it looks messy, but I mark them all up. And then we're going to find out which one price decide to use. So now that we're here, this is what I'm looking at now. So now it's the 1 minute chart. Okay, I'm going to move closer to 8:30 because that's when I usually, that's when I usually trade. I don't trade, even though my trading session is 8 to 11, I usually wait till about 8:30. So right now it's 7:15, okay, 7:45, 8, boom. And then 8:15. Okay, 8:15 is fine. We can kind of scroll down there around 8:15. All right, so it's 8:15. We're in this zone. And what is price doing? Price is disrespecting this fair value gap, right? It's disrespecting this fair value gap. But we have this area of consolidation that we marked up earlier that ends up looking a bit like a support and resistance, this thing right here. Okay, so price is within that zone. To me, it's not an area of interest, even though anything can happen. I would more so rather, let me just get rid of this real quick or turn it into something else. I would much rather, there we go. I would much rather price come to one of my points of interest before I get into anything else. Okay, so even though price is responding to a level we recognize, I'm waiting for price to touch one of these. Because if we're going up, it's going to be off of one of these. And if we're coming down, it's going to be off of where we marked up over there. Now, you can already see price has already tapped into this and it's going down. So we might have already missed that train. So right now, I'm more biased towards the buy side as opposed to the downside. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see how price responds to this. All right, boom, 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 boom. All right, price starts breaking up towards the upside. Now we're back in this zone. So I got to wait for price to give me what I'm looking for. All right, so here's a dangerous one. If you guys know the patterns that I look for, it's always like this, right? Price comes up into this area, gives you a lower, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, then breaks that low, right? And then you wait for the retracement. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I'm not a fan because of indices. On Forex, this might still be a good setup. On indices, I'm not a fan of moves like this because on indices, when you don't get a sure break below that recent low right here, it's just one of those like I don't call it a fake out, but it didn't really complete the move. You kind of had price wick below, but didn't fully break. But essentially, this would be the move. Okay, I'd probably get in about right here. Okay, and I would aim for a 1 to 2. Like that. This is what I would do. What time is it right now? It's 9. Yeah. So if this was indices, it would be sketchy because around 9:30, you guys know price is gonna spike up and down. Might take you out before it hits your TP, or might hit your TP before it starts reversing on you. Okay. But essentially, this will be the move. This is a demonstration. I wouldn't take this trade per se, but just for you guys to see. Okay. And eventually, what happens? Price would have hit TP. Okay. So this would have been the move. Price would have come back into this area, would have hit TP. All right. The reason why, again, I personally wouldn't have taken this trade is because I'm going to learn Forex. As I told you guys, we're going to be doing a 30-day challenge. But because of my experience with indices, this would be a setup. Not like a good setup, like a setup against me to take me out. And then because indices move they have so much volatility that even if it was going down, and I've shown you guys, if you guys were checking my stories on Instagram as I was on vacation, you'll see a couple times price took me out and then went my direction. It does this all the time. So that's why I'd be a little bit skeptical about this. Right now we're at 10:34. Nothing really going on right now. And I would have to, there we go. So yeah, so today wouldn't be a day where I would trade. You know what I mean? But overall, we had a bullish bias. Price ended up coming back to our zone for the bearish fair value gap, and we were able to catch an entry there. Okay, what am I looking at now that price is in this zone? I'm still bullish, right? Because price was going up, retraced a little bit. Now it looks like it might be reversing. What I need to see is I need to see price break this. Okay, once price breaks this, I'll be a lot more confident to really start, buying. So if I was trading Forex, which I understand a lot of Forex traders look at different pairs, I'd probably keep EU in my back pocket, but I wouldn't be focused on EU. So I'd be waiting for price to break this level or for price to break this level, because one of these two levels being broken properly, and I mean like a good candle closure below, would tell me which direction the pair has decided to go, right? So that's what I would do. So for those of you who are considering EU, that is my position so far. So what do I think is going to happen tomorrow? I mean, we'll have to kind of wait and see. I can't look into the future, unfortunately. However, based on how market structure is forming, we can kind of get a look, right? Up, down, right? Lower highs, lower lows. And then now it's making another kind of like higher high, another higher low. So once price starts to break above this, we can say maybe we're still going towards the upside. Okay, but essentially this is the main target. Once price breaks above this, by tomorrow we'll know which direction we're going. And if price starts doing this, then we know, right? Like price starts breaking these levels, then we know, okay, even though it's bounced off of here, we might still go towards the downside. Here's one last thing I'll say before I get off of EU. Whenever you guys are at zones like this, where you see that price had a good response to it in the past. So let me make this gray again. Okay, whenever you guys are trading around zones like this, where you see that price in the past has struggled against it, try not to trade at all, because a lot of craziness will happen because of the fact that it's a sensitive zone. We might still be going down, but it might still push up a little bit, take you out of your setups before it eventually breaks downwards. So whenever I'm in between two zones like this, I don't trust the process. Like I don't trust the setups too much, because this is an area where price can literally tap down, shoot back up, tap down, shoot back up, even though you believe we're going downwards because of the analysis, right? So if you're around this zone by tomorrow, be extra careful. Anything that happens in here is most likely manipulation, in my opinion. All right. So, oh gosh. All right. So Professor said, miss you, big bro. Mind talking, taking a quick look at NASDAQ. Absolutely. I'll take a quick look at NASDAQ for sure. We should trade our giveaway accounts together to 100K. All things are possible. Yellow me. Yeah. I'm actually going to set up something in the, I was talking to the moderator about a Caramel Life, about setting up a channel about, how to take a prop from challenge for beginners. Because when I did the giveaway accounts, a lot of people, I found out that this is their first time trading a prop from account. And I was like, oh shoot, maybe I should put together something that is like a guide of how you guys should approach taking the challenges and stuff. So I was trying to do it before I left for vacation, but things got crazy. So I'm going to do it now that I'm back. But yeah, anything's possible. Who knows? We might do the whole challenge together. I mean, I'm going to be doing the 30-day Forex challenge. So you might, I don't do signals. And if I'm trading live, I don't necessarily want you to copy me. But you know what I mean? Like, you're free to do what you like. Marcus Celisco. What's good, Marcus Agent? He's another one. He was messaging me like every day. Shout out to Marcus. Appreciate you, bro. DJ said, what do you think of gold? Walola said, welcome back. Thank you, Walola. Welcome back as well. Good to have you. DJ said, a professor today is a holiday in US. Better be careful. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I didn't trade today, because it's Labor Day. Mozart said, you got ghost in your house, man. That knocked out my sign, right? Oh man, that's good. Okay, there's a lot of comments coming through. Kata said was good. Professor DJ Mustang, thanks a lot, bro. Not active. Oh, he's responding to DJ Mustang. Kata said your opinion on GJ. He said I'm long. Smash the likes, fam. Thank you, guys. Listen to Yellow Me. Smash the like button, please. It helps with the algorithm. It helps with everything that I got going on. I'm a small creator. You know, I mean, I don't ask for nothing. I'm not charging nothing. Just please hit the like button for me. I've seen more than K dot. Okay, so responding in black. I said I'm short. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at the first request. Someone wanted me to look at Nas still. So we're going to do Nas, then gold, then GJ. All right. And then we'll talk about my experience in Colombia, bro. You guys, oh my God, Colombia was. If you guys are watching my IG stories, okay, which I posted in the Discord saying, hey guys, I'm going to be sharing my experience and some of the highlights of my vacation on IG, so make sure to tap in. For the people who were watching, they were consistent. I think it was like almost 20 people. They were watching every day. So shout out to y'all. But some things happened. If you notice my last post, there was like a was it what 5 or 6 hour gap between my last post and the one that posted after. Not my recent post, but you'll see if you go to the highlights, you'll see in terms of time there was a massive gap, because that's when everything went left, bro. Everything went crazy. Raizaki said, welcome back. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. Raizaki hit me up too while I was on vacation. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to all you guys. The love and support was amazing. All right, so we're gonna get into Colombia. I promise. Don't leave. If you're here for Colombia, don't leave. Give me like 2 minutes. Let me go through some of these pairs, and then we can take it from there. All right. So we're gonna quickly look at Nasdaq because somebody recommended or asked that I look at Nasdaq. As you can see, we've done a lot of analysis on Nasdaq. Sheesh, which one should we clear? Well, this, as you can see, I was doing an analysis here, so I'm going to most likely use this one. Let's clear it again. Do it all over again so everybody can understand. Let me take off these indicators. All right, so Nasdaq, what type of pair is Nasdaq? You can see prehistorically, Nasdaq is a pair that just trends upwards, okay? The reason why this is so important is because when you know what your pair does traditionally or regularly, it helps you to understand your biases and how your setups form with these pairs, okay? I'll show you guys a trade that I took on holiday or on vacation, and I'll break it down for you guys. But essentially, this pair goes up, okay? So since this pair goes up, I can already see it's consistently going up. Like even when we have retracements, they're not as deep as our, you know, pushes to the upside. So this is a pair that traditionally goes up. What we have going on right here is price doing its usual up, right, down, up, down, up, down, and then price is starting to switch a little bit, okay? And then everybody was like, oh, we're going down. We're going to make it to like this level. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. Because I know indices that even if we have a crazy drop in the market, the rebound will be just as crazy or worse. It's an index pair. That's what they do. All right, so price comes down into here. And then it pushes back up into this side. So what kind of structure do we got going on right here? Technically, we were bullish, okay? We were absolutely bullish. This is where I would personally start considering we're in a overall or possibly a long-term downtrend. When price breaks this level, this would be the level I would personally look at. That's why all these things here, these are like mini retracement, mini pullbacks. They're not too serious. The last swing for me was right here. Price went up here, pushed down here, went up. This is the last swing. So until price breaks this, I'm still bullish. Now, because I'm a scalper, I will still find sells within this area. But for the most part, I am looking at a bullish trend. All right, cool. So now that we understand that, how can we take advantage of that, right? So let's go down to the 1 hour. When we go down to the 1 hour, we can see, again, price was going up. All right, it was making higher highs and higher lows. When it got to this point, it broke this intermediate low here, retraced, gave us another like higher low, eventually another lower high, and then a lower low. And since then, it's kind of been making lower highs and lower lows. And now here we are. So this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of when you don't know what to do or how to proceed. And this is where patience pays. So technically, I can call this a little, you know what I mean? Like a little lower high and a higher low. And I can say this is what's happening. But I wouldn't do that. What I would look at is this. This is where we are now. Price came all the way up here. And as soon as it came there, it gave us another lower high. Another higher low. Okay. A lower high, higher low, a lower high, higher low. And then if we're talking about these, then we now have a new higher high. But the reason why I'm not considering this is because this is within an area. Look what's happening right here. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. This area, you can see strong resistance. Okay. Every time prices come here, you've had crazy reactions. The first one was this. Price pushed down right away. Went back up, pushed down again. Went back up, pushed down really strongly. Went back up in here, pushed down really strongly. Now we're back in this area. Okay. So there's two things we can do. We can do one of these. You know how it goes. People call this retail patterns, no problem. I still draw some of them because it just gives me an idea of what price is doing. I don't rely on them, by the way. I'm not going to say, oh, price is doing this. This is whatever pattern it is. I'm expecting it to go down, so therefore I'm bearish. No, you still got to look at price action and market structure. But essentially, this is what we got going on. We got price going down, breaking these lows, and it retraced up to this area. It hasn't really broken that high since. It's given us these weird retracements. And I always tell you guys that when price, let's say price is going down steadily, like properly, right? Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, properly. And then you have this like little, jagged movement towards the upside. This is usually a retracement for something within this range. And then it's going to do this. That's usually what happens. Okay? Usually. This is usually the setup. So when I see that price is doing something like this, for the most part, I'm still bearish. The reason why for indices or for NAS, we have to still take the bullish stand is because of what I showed you earlier. Because price is NAS is a pair that traditionally goes up, you can't underestimate. I can't tell you how many times I've approached levels like this, and while everybody's trying to sell here, I'm buying. When I see my setup around here, I'm buying. And price, you know what price ends up doing? It ends up doing this. Comes up in here, pulls back a tiny bit, and then shoots to the moon. Like I'm talking about 1 to 32, 1 to 40 trades, 40 RR. I just can't hold it because my psychology isn't there yet. But you'll see price do something like this and just rock it. It doesn't care about these zones. It'll do it a little bit. But not these, remember, these guys, these indexes are a basket of companies that are the best performing companies in the US economy. And they are considered safe haven investments because they're designed to be like long-term go up. They're supposed to give you an average return, or at least a good average return every year. So most people investing in these companies are investing in them for two reasons. Number one, they're hoping it goes up. So people are going to continuously buy them. Even when they're dipping, they're going to buy them. That's number one. Number two, they're the best performing companies in the US economy, which means these companies are good. It's going to be hard for them to see bad days. Like even with the recent crash and all that stuff, look at this. Price just poured in August, right? And what happened? By August 5th, that downtrend was over. We are now all the way back up. Okay, this is a pair that loves to do that. Okay, so anyways, coming back to here, over here, this will give me a good idea as to what's going on. Would I be bullish, bearish? Not necessarily, because I'm a scalper. Okay, if you are somebody who's swinging, here's what I would tell you to look for. We already have this level here. Obviously, you can wait for some sort of pattern, but because I see these things, I just can't help but see them because I see these gaps up here. Because this is what I've noticed about NAS and indices in general. They love to sometimes fake people out by breaking these really strong zones, looking for something else up there and then going down. Okay, so I would be like, until price really violates this, I'm not looking for no bullish trades. Okay, and if I'm bearish, this is what I'm counting on. We already have this area that price came into. Okay, price was in this area and we can still get a push towards the downside. So if I'm swinging, I'm waiting for price to break this structure. At least. Until price breaks that level right there. Until price crosses this level, not this one. Until price crosses this level right here, I'm not touching anything towards the downside at all. At all. And if price breaks above these levels here that we have marked up, I would, because I'm overall bullish, then I would still look for buys. But for me to be bearish on a swing, price has to at least start breaking these lows here. I would not touch anything because NAS, US 30, SPX 500, they are insane. They will absolutely do the craziest things no matter what. They will respect structure, but not without violating some rules first. Like when I was trading Euro JPY with you guys and GBP CHF, when price gets to a level like this, as soon as you see it kind of like even give you an engulfing for the most part, you'll see something like this. It'll just go. When US 30 or NAS gets this level, you'll see this strong move. It'll still do this. Like it'll break structure and everything. It'll come back and do this. And you're like, oh, now we're going down. And then it will do this. And you're like, bro, what the hell? And it loves to do these things at these levels. So I'm very careful with NAS. So if you're looking at NAS and you're swinging, I don't know anyone who swings NAS. But anyways, if you are, if I'm bearish, I'm waiting for this to break. I'm not touching nothing else. I want to see how price reacts off of these levels. And then once it breaks this, because I'm swinging, then I'm looking for entries. Okay, if I'm bullish, then obviously, as you can see, like I said earlier, we were already all the way bullish. So this might be a bounce off of here, right? Somewhere within this zone, and we're going back up. All right. So what I would do, since I'm a scalper, let me go down a little bit further. This is what I would do. I'd go down to the 15, and let me go back to today. Show you guys what I would have done. It's Labor Day, so the market would have been kind of trash, but we'll start at 7:30. All right. So 7:30, I get to the markets. I can see that we're entering into this area here. I'm looking for zones. As you can see, we have a couple gaps for the like bearish gaps anyways. So now I'm looking for bullish gaps that might be a good area for me to get into. Okay, so here's one. I always start kind of like at the bottom. We have this massive push from over here. And you can see price also reacted to that zone already. So that might be a decent zone. Okay, we have another really small one right here. Okay, price kind of also tapped into, so that's kind of a good sign. And outside of that, we have these ones that are in the middle of formation. Now, I'm telling you guys right now, I hate these gaps because there are so many in a short period. And we're creeping towards the upside. So I'm not too I'm not too thrilled about gaps like this, but I mark them up anyways, right? Because this is what you guys have to understand about trading. The market does whatever the market wants, period. That means the market can say, you know what? I'm going to retrace, like if it's planning to go up, I'm not going to come all the way down to whatever Fibonacci level they're expecting, whatever gap. I might just want to tap the top of here, right? I shouldn't have done that. I just might want to tap the top of here and then shoot up. Okay, so what I've learned to do is I mark up potential zones. I have my preference. What I would ideally like to see is I would like to see, even though this would break structure, like if price came down here first, it would kind of break structure, but I know indices to know that these would be the best pullbacks. It's off of areas like this that you get the longest runs, right? Bull runs. So I'd love to see price come into these areas. On top of that, if you pull your fib, which I don't use, but for those of you who are new, if you pull your fib, guess what? These zones always line up with the 50 to 61.8 zone. So there's a high chance that when price gets to somewhere in this area, we can get a really strong push, okay? But I still have to mark up these ones. The reason I still have to mark up these ones is because you don't know which one price is going to take. So what I would do is that when I get here, I have these two zones. I have zone 1. Just type it up here. Zone 1. What is going on? Guys, something is going on today. My keyboard just died. Let me see if it's going to come back on. Okay, cool. Oh. Bro, I got it. One sec, guys. Where are my Christians at? The devil is a liar. Where you guys at? They don't want you guys to get this sauce, this free sauce. All right, let me change my batteries real quick. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. In the meantime, let me read. Cameron said, I just kept foreign up on my gambling habits while he was living his life in Colombia. Yeah, Caramel Life was sending me pictures of him at the casino and all his wins. He was stacking some bread in at the casino. Don't follow Caramel, guys. Gambling is not the way. he himself knows this. But he has a side to him that just loves, he gets a thrill off of those things. So he made his bread while he was while I was on vacation. Thing said Nasdaq burned me a lot last week trying to go long to last week was crazy. I caught a setup. I'll show you guys in a second. Professor, I made some profit last week. Announced Trade what you see, not what you think. Okay, fair enough. Copy that. And FC Moses said, again the ghost, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, something's going on. Something is going on. All right. So zone 1. All right, we have zone 1 right here. This is the zone 1, and then this would be zone 2. Okay, and what I mean by let me type here. What I mean by that is this: these are the first 2 areas I'm looking at, and all I'm looking for is for price to tell me what it wants to do when it gets to these areas. So at this point, what time is it right now? 7:15. Let's go to about 8 o'clock, 8:30 ish. Okay, 7:45. Boom, 8 o'clock. Let me just move to 8 o'clock. I don't trade before 8:30, but just to be safe, it's 8:14. All right. So price has come into this area, and what do we got? A clear break towards the downside. Okay, a clear break. Price came into our zone, right? And what do we got? A break. Now, some people consider this aggressive because it's a really short pullback. It's a pullback nonetheless, which means structure has been somewhat shifted, character has changed, broken, whatever term you want to use. That is enough for me. All my setups are like this. I'm getting in right here. I'm pulling towards the downside, okay? Now, you guys saw we took the same trade on Euro USD. It worked. Let's see what Nas will do. I'm curious. If this goes through, I'll be surprised. And I'll explain why after. All right, so we're going to wait for price to pull back into this zone, okay? And let's see what it does. It might leave without us. It may not. Okay, cool. We're in. Let's see what happens. There you go. This is why I said I'll be surprised. I've traded Nas enough to know that setup is not it. It is not it. I personally wouldn't take that trade. Now, let me put it this way. I personally would not want to take the trade. But the reason why I have to take the trade is because all the conditions for my trading setup basically have been met. So as a trader, you have to trade your plan consistently, or else you're not going to see the results you want. So this would have ended up basically being a loser. All right, so what do we do now? Remember, keep in mind today is Labor Day as well, so the markets aren't going to perform the way we want. We're waiting to see what else price does. All right, cool. So price comes down into this level, goes up. And what do we got? All right, so here's another one. I tell you guys all the time. Back in the day, I would trade something. I would consider this a pullback, and I would get in. Nowadays, with the way indices move, I wouldn't really trust it. I'd wait for price to break here. But the problem you have is unless we're going down long term, which we understand we're kind of going up long term, this might not be the best setup. You see what I'm saying? Like this, you'll have a really wide stop loss and price may just, So anyways, it's 10 o'clock. Let's see what ends up happening. All right, so price, you would have had to, this is what I'm telling you. So price breaks this and then comes back into the zone. You would have to do something like this. I know people who do this and do that instead. And yes, that's all good and dandy. You'll win some of those, but everybody knows that the best place to put your stop loss is above a recent swing high or below a recent swing low. Okay. What I like to do if I'm not really sure, or sometimes just to maximize my trade, is if price comes back or I'm not sure about the trade, instead of putting in a full 1%, I'll put in a 0.25 or 0.50. And then I'll also mark another area where I think price is going to tap into before it goes down. That way, if price retraces, goes up in here and gives me a 1 to 2 at least on one, technically I'll at least make 1%. I could put the stops at break even for the next. Okay, so let's see what ends up happening. You see what I'm saying? Just completely wasted us. So I'll show you guys a trade that I took over the holiday. I ended up getting stopped out at break even. With these pairs, especially with what's happening recently, first off, today being Labor Day, I wouldn't trade because this is what happens on Labor Day. This type of activity is what happens on Tuesdays, as to why I don't trade on Tuesdays. When I was doing my back testing, right, I would take setups like this, and every time on Tuesday, it would never work. And everywhere else, every other day, this setup is enough for you to know that, okay, price has shown you where it's going. You should be going down. Tuesdays, it would do this. Same thing happens on holidays. All right, guys? So we wouldn't really trade that. But ideally, oh gosh, what happened? Ideally, it's supposed to go down. But anyways, you also lose, right? So that happens. But anyway, so what would happen is that a day like this, I would have traded my setup. Let's say my conditions haven't met. I lost. It happens. Sometimes we get so caught up in our losses. We're like, oh my God, I shouldn't have taken that trade. I knew it. I just felt like something was off. It doesn't matter what you feel. It doesn't matter what you feel. You have to enter when you see what you're supposed to see. When the setup presents itself, you have to pull the trigger. That's it. That's just how it goes. Because for the most part, with this one here, we almost got to like a 1-to-1. Some people close half at a 1-to-1. Some people don't. It's all good. It hit this, went back up, wasn't your day. Come back tomorrow. All right. Now, let me answer this question before I go on to gold. What are we doing, long term? Like I told you guys, I'm still bullish. Okay. Even though I see all these zones, I'm still bullish because look at the behavior of NAS in this zone. It's not really supposed to be like that. It's supposed to give you some strong pushes, some rejections. It's just pushing up. So this tells me even if NAS is going down, this is not really the zone. We have to see how it respects this and how it respects that before I start getting to sells. Okay, so for the most part, I'm bullish. I hope this kind of helped you with your analysis or your bias as to where we're going. So if I'm looking at NAS from, I don't trade tomorrow, from Wednesday, depending on what's happening here, I would still be bullish in terms of bias. If price starts breaking these like levels, then I'd start being bearish. Okay, so that's NAS. Let's go to XAUUSD, baby. That's gold. And let me check the chat real quick. Let's see. Where are we at? Marcus was laughing at Mozart's comment. Caramel Life said, do not gamble. Yes, listen to Caramel Life, bro. Don't gamble, guys. Do not gamble. I love competition, so I need that edge. I hear you. When you're naturally competitive, you got to find some way to kind of scratch that itch in a sense. You know what I mean? Marcus said, yeah, gambling is dangerous if you can't control yourself. So many lives ruined. Yeah. All the videos me and Marcus watch together is like, that we react to. It's a bunch of people just YOLOing it and then their whole lives coming down in like 2 trades. So please don't YOLO your accounts. All right, let's go to XAUUSD. By the way, guys, I have bad blood with gold. If you guys don't already know, gold is the pair that took the most money from me. One day I'm going to do a series called Revenge Trading. And I'm going to go back to gold and get all the money that he took from me. I'm just waiting for some things. But I'm going to do a series one day. Gold took the most money out of me, so I don't like gold. I love gold in the sense of you can make so much money trading gold. And it moves so rapidly. And man, you can make like gold is, if you can trade gold, gold is probably the most lucrative pair, even over US 30 and like US, all the index pairs, right? They provide the best volatility, which means if you're a scalper, it's the best pair to master because you can be in and out of your trades in like 5 minutes and you can get some really good scalps, 1 to 5s, 1 to 3s, 1 to 2s. You see what I'm saying? But if you want to make a lot of money per pip, per position, per leverage or whatever you want to call it, gold is it, man. Gold moves like witchcraft, like voodoo. All right, here we go. Gold, as you can see, gold is a pair that traditionally also goes up. Why? Gold is also considered a safe haven pair, which means when the economy is tanking and things are rough and things are bad, people put their money in gold because gold is just one of those things that won't really lose its value. Like no matter what, gold is not going to zero. They call it God's money for a reason. Okay, gold has, there's 3 types of values. I forget the third one, but there's something called market value. There is market value, intrinsic value, and sentimental value. That's what it is. So sentimental value is, guys, just hear me out for 2 seconds. Sentimental value is the things that we put our feelings, our emotions, like we're emotionally invested into it. So I'll give you an example. I used to work at a dealership, right? And sometimes people would come and trade in their cars. And on the day when they're getting their new car, they're almost shedding tears for their old car. They're like, yo, me and Doug been through so much. Doug was there when I graduated. Doug was there when I got my first oil change. Doug was there for everything, right? So the car has a name. The car has a name, and it means a lot to the owner because they've put emotional investment into that object. It's the reason why we treat money the way we do. If you ask me for $20, depending on which part of the world I'm in or what my financial situation is, it could be like you're asking me for $2 or it could be like you're asking me for $2,000. It's because of what I had to do for the money. If somebody just gave me $20 a day and you asked me for $20, I'd be like, okay, I'm getting $20 tomorrow. You can have it. But if I had to go clean an elephant's dump and wash his, you know what, and feed him and roll the hay and do all this heavy lifting and sweating, and then you ask me for $20, I'm like, nah, dog. You're going to have to ask somebody else. Why? Because I put so much into that. And so even though it's just $20, the value doesn't change. Emotionally, it means more to me. It's why we spend money, like when we get money or we get payouts, we want to go buy a watch or a car. These are all sentimental things. People don't buy these things because of logical reason. They do because of emotion. So sentimental value is one. Then you have what's called intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means if you break this thing apart, what are the parts itself worth? What is this thing worth at its core? So I'll give you an example. An iPhone is sold for, at least in Canada, like what, $1,500 if you buy a Pro Max or something. Sometimes like $2,000, depending on what specs you get. Let's call it $2,000 at the high end, okay? Is an iPhone actually worth $2,000? Well, the answer is most likely no, because it doesn't cost them that much to make. The sum of its parts are cheaper. It's less than $2,000, right? But the market value is $2,000 because of what we perceive it to be. We agree that the iPhone is worth $2,000. That's why the price works. You see what I'm saying? So we have sentimental value, we have intrinsic value, and then we have market value, okay? With gold, gold has what's called intrinsic value, which means it's a valuable element. It's no matter where we go. In fact, I watched a couple movies where the world was ending, and at that time, nobody wanted cash, right? Because cash was useless. Guess what everybody wanted? Silver or gold, because that will always have value. So, sorry for the lecture, guys. I'm saying all this to say that when you are trading stuff, or when you look at pairs like this or commodities like this, whatever they're called, they will traditionally go up because they have intrinsic value, okay? Gold is a safe haven. A lot of investors, when you just watch, sometimes you see US 30 tanking and gold skyrocketing. Because when the economy and cash is going down, the US dollar is going down, people are like, let me put it into gold. It's a safe haven. It's a way to hedge your position and your gains against the economy falling. 99% quit before they win big. And let me said that was a brutal move. She's laughing and she said, I saw a man crying talking about his dog that died. Yeah, people. So Hilomi's from South Africa. If you guys ever watch videos on like when somebody loses their pet or something like that in certain regions of the world versus the West, it's a totally different response. Like if you go to my wife's country, she's from the Caribbean. The dogs there, they get mashed up every day. There is no, oh, hey, buddy, how you doing? Oh, aren't you a good boy? They'd be like, yo, move your backside, dog. And they'd be throwing stones at the, like, they treat, because the dogs and the people there in the Caribbean, they're at war. There is no, hey, buddy, how's your day going? Oh, Buster, look at you, Buster. You want a snack? Buster doesn't get a snack. in the Caribbean. Buster is at war with the human being. So it's a different thing. So when you watch the videos and people are like, so emotional towards their pets, everyone else is like, yo, what's wrong with these people? It's just a dog, right? Different value. All right. So anyhow, gold. Sorry for the long tangent, guys. Gold is a pair that traditionally goes up. You can see we recently broke highs. Okay. Where are we at? Right here. Over here in April, we had a high. Price retraced, right? Came back. I believe the next month. Yeah, in May, broke that. Retraced. Month after that, or July, yeah, came back, retraced. And now here we are, August, September. Okay. Price has given us another all-time high and retrace. So even just looking at this, it tells us that price is most likely, right, to do this. Now that it's up, pull back somewhere and then continue going up, because it's a pair that traditionally goes up. So now that we understand this, let's go down a little bit. Let's look at some swings and then let's look at some scalps. All right. So here we are. If I'm swinging, I see the daily. It's easy to see the structure right here. Okay. Basic market structure of support and resistance. You can see that right here, that this is a level that price has interacted with multiple times. Guys, by the way, if you guys ever want to understand, like, where are your points in the market, if you can't see what candles is too messy, go to the line chart. The line chart will tell you exactly where all the points in the market are. Okay? You can see boom right here, boom right here, boom right here, boom right here. Those are like, what, 4 or 5 touches? Okay? It makes it easier. Okay? Don't rely on it solely because wicks are there for a reason. Okay, but it just helps you to understand the market structure a lot better. All right, cool. So here we are. We have price come into this area. It's giving us higher highs and higher lows. It keeps breaking these highs. Okay, it broke this high, went down, came, eventually broke that high. It came up here, went low, and now we're anticipating this. Okay, this is our next move. So for me, right off the bat, I'm already bullish. I'm bullish, okay? Right off the bat, I'm bullish because I have no reason. There's nothing towards the left, nothing on the left side at all that tells me, right, that I should be looking for sales. Zero. All right, so let's go down to the 1 hour. I know some people who swing like to look at the 4 hour as well, just to give them a little bit of structure. You can see, for example, over here, price was going up, then down, giving us higher high. Then eventually we got a bit of a lower low because price spiked. We got up here, we got a lower high, another low, another. It's not a higher high per se, but higher than that. Then another lower low in a sense. High, low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so off of this, you might think, okay, price is retracing, but you have to see how far we've come and what price is actually doing. All right, I personally will just go straight to the 1 hour because I need to understand. I've already seen what's happening overall. Now I can see from the 1 hour, we're actually doing this in a sense. We're kind of within a range. Price is ranging. Now, when I first started trading gold, this was the most apparent thing to me. Gold likes to consolidate for some seasons for whatever reason. Okay, gold is a pair that likes to consolidate for some reason. Okay, some seasons gold will just do this. It'll just range. It'll just be in a range for like a hot minute before it breaks out. Okay, now if you guys have been trading long enough, you know that whenever price has been going, let me ask you guys just to see what you guys get say. When price has been going up, down, like just consistently trending up, and then all of a sudden it starts doing this. Right? What is most likely to happen when price gets here? What do you guys think is going to happen? What's most likely when we get to, we've been going up consistently, right? And now all of a sudden price is starting to consolidate. What's going to happen? A couple things can happen, so there's no right or wrong answer, but I'm going to explain a point to you guys. What's going to happen? Yo, guys, what's up? What's up, forum? What's good, Shosho? What's good, baby? Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to the live. I haven't talked about Colombia yet, right? So after gold, I'll talk about Colombia, and then I'll talk about it while I'm doing the other analysis as well. But real quick, guys, come on, let's get some participation. Any news at cruising? Case any news on TFT? Bro, to be honest with you, I didn't check nothing. I was on vacation. I just got back. I'll look into all that when I get a chance. But right now, I don't know anything about TFF. Those guys are just in and out. The last thing I heard, they were selling the company, but it seems to be the exact same company. Bro, just a whole bunch of mess going on. So I'm going to look into before I give you guys any solid information. But people, come on, let's get some participation. There's 18 people in here. What's going to happen? What do you guys think is going to happen when price is going up consistently and then all of a sudden it starts to consolidate? What do you guys think is going to happen? There's a couple things that can happen. So there's no right or wrong answer, but I just want to see what you guys think. Princeton Avenue said, "What's up from Philippines? Welcome. Oh, all the way from the Philippines. That's love. Thank you so much, Princeton. Welcome to the family, the chat, the live. I hope you subscribe and join us. We do this every day, and join the Discord as well. Oh God, I didn't pin the Discord. Oh gosh. Anyways, I'll do that in a bit. But Cruising King said they're a joke. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about those guys. Those guys just, I can't, man. Those guys just get to me. Sway funding has been coming through in the clutch. Solid. That's nice. That's nice. That's really, really nice. All right, guys, since you guys don't want to answer, I'm just going to tell you guys. All right, when you guys are going up like this, okay, one of two things can happen. Oh, okay. Sorry. Professor answered. Professor said, I would wait for it to either break above or below the consolidation. I'd not pull the trigger until something happens. Yeah, no, 1,000%. I'm not asking you like how you would trade it. I'm asking, what do you think is going to happen next? What's the next move? We're going to go up or down? That's all I'm just trying to figure out. So, Adoyan Moses says 50-50 chance buy and sell. Max Power said, bro. What's good, Max Power? So, guys, just so I'm clear on the position. Max Power said, I'm from Colombia. Oh, man, you're going to love this then. So, guys, I'm not asking you about buys or sells. I'm telling you, I'm just asking, what do you think it's going to do? It's going to go up or down? Manipulate to go down. Okay, cool. Very good guess. Let's get one more in here real quick. What do you guys think is going to happen? We're going to go up or down? I'll give you guys my answer as to why I'm asking you this. Price has been going up for a hot minute, just steadily up, and now it's consolidating. We're going up or down? Now, again, there's a couple things that can happen, and I'll explain both, but I just want your input. Anybody else? Explode out of the range. Okay, which direction though? Up or down? Okay, Macfarrell said up. Okay, Marcus said down. All right, so for those of you who said up, this is what would happen, okay? If price was going like this and it was continuing up, this would be what we call a breakout of this range. And then this would be probably a good demand zone. It usually happens like this, and then you can take it up. But the reason why I am anticipating it may go down is because of this. I used to trade gold, and I've traded certain pairs enough to know that if we've been going up for a very long time and price does this, we're making a U-turn, ladies and gentlemen. We're eventually going to see something like this, maybe come back in here, and then boom. On higher time frames, what I've noticed is that if price is going up, now again, somebody said, I think it was Yolomi who said it might manipulate. You might get a little bit of a break upwards, but I promise you we're usually going down. Anytime you see, just like even when you're going the other way, right? So price is going down, right? And then it starts doing this, especially at a point of interest, this is going to go up. Okay, it's going to go up. I've noticed this happens all the time. Price will be going down for a hot minute, it'll break, and then it'll shoot up. Now again, this is usually on like higher time frames. On lower time frames, sometimes price will do this, consolidate a little bit, and break down. And this is just ends up being a supply or demand zone. Okay, but for the most part, on higher time frames, if you see prices going up and it starts to consolidate, it usually goes back down. Okay, kind of case in point right here. We've been going up, price consolidate a little bit, and then it broke down. Now, we don't know how long it goes down, but it usually, like I said with other pairs, it'll go down consistently. All right, so consolidation usually is a contraction before an expansion. And what I've noticed is that price usually in situations like this will go down. So the beauty of the market is, like I said, there's no right or wrong answer because we can't read the future. So we may say for all we want that price is going to go down. And again, you got to wait for confirmation. We don't know that yet. So let's see what happens. All right. So here we are. Where are we at? Today's September 2nd. Okay, so now we know that price has been going up and now price is ranging. So everybody knows this, that if you are trading a pair like this and it starts to range, what should we do? We stay out the market. Okay, we stay out the market. Max Versa, where did you? Bogota. No, I didn't go to Bogota. I was in Cali. I'll explain more about it. Give me like 10 minutes, okay? Black Owl said up. And then Mr. R said, hi, bro, how are you? Hey, Mr. R, what's good, baby? I am good. How you doing? Welcome back to the channel, the live, and the family. All right? We just did a analysis on Euro USD. We did one on NAS, and now we're doing gold, okay? So with gold, right now we're ranging. And since we're ranging, obviously as a long-term, if you're like swinging, you obviously want to wait. Now, what are we waiting for? Again, price could be going down, right? So we might want to see some maybe change in structure, go towards the downside. Or we might want to just see price break out and give us some whatever. I'm definitely going to be waiting to see how price responds out of this box. There's a couple of things that can happen. Like I said, price can, break out of this range, right? Start going up, whatever, eventually giving us bearish structure, right? And then if I'm swinging, Once price breaks out of here, I'm not, if I'm, I don't know if you can scalp while you're swinging, but if I'm going to take a real quick scalp on a higher time frame, I might get into a position here for a sell. But once I get to this area, I'm out, because I would need price to break this area convincingly. I mean, like, you know, do its retracements, all that stuff, and eventually go down before I say, okay, now we're going long term and like start selling and holding for a long time, right? If not, I'm waiting to see how price breaks out of here. We might get one of these where price, you know, eventually breaks out, comes down a little bit, up, down, like whatever, and then eventually shoots up. Okay, so I'd wait to see how it breaks out of this and if it holds it consistently, but again, could be manipulation. But anyways, once I see structure I want to see, I would go towards the upside. So if I'm swinging, I'm not touching gold right now because we're literally ranging, and it's the worst part. Now, if you're scalping, you might want to go in between these levels, right? You might. I personally never did this. I know some people who trade like that. I'm not a fan of it. It's not something I like. But you can say, okay, price is bouncing off of here and bouncing technically like off of like right here. So whenever price gets these levels, you buy. When price gets these levels, you sell. So let me change the color so it'll be easier. Let's do this, and let's do, where am I? Right there, like that, okay? When price gets to this level, you buy. When price gets to this level, you sell. All right, keeping that in mind, we're ranging. Let's go down to the 15, okay? So let's go back a little bit. 8 o'clock, perfect. So here I am, 8 o'clock. Price is going down. You can see, even though we're ranging, from the last, couple days, we're in a bit of a bearish trend, okay? So what I'm looking at is I'm looking for areas for reversals. Now, you can see here that there aren't any like gaps or anything, so that's concerning to me. If I'm not seeing any gaps towards the downside, except for like right here, it's making me realize that, okay, price is not just ranging, the movement itself isn't really without purpose, okay? But I'm still going to keep this in mind so that if anything does happen, I'm ready, all right? So we have this area to look at, and I have this area. I'm going to look for something within here that I can say, okay, when price gets to this level, I'm going to buy. All right, so here we are. We have this zone here. This is the one I look at first. And then we have another one right here, guys. You always got to mark up all the gaps just to be safe. And then the last one is this one here. And I'm going to look and see what happens. Now with gold, anything can happen because remember, we're ranging, okay? But we just want to see what price does when it gets to our level at that time. So I don't trade until 8:30. Let's see what happens. It's 8 o'clock now, basically. Oops. All right, so price, boom, starts moving. Remember, we don't care what happens until it touches one of those two zones. And just make sure that zone is extended. Okay, perfect. All right, we don't care what happens. It's 8:47. I don't trade after 11. All right, boom, price is going. And as you can see, not much going on. All right, okay, good. 10:18, all right? Very sus time for this, but 10:18, here we are. Let's see if price is going to give us what we're looking for. Ooh, that's scary. So usually when price gets down here, you know my pattern down. This is perfect. I need it to break above convincingly. When price does this and then does this, it still works sometimes. I never trade it. Not my thing. I need price to do this fully. Then I get in, like that's it. Okay, we're ranging, so anything can happen, but that's what I'm looking for. Right now, price has gone down, and then now it's broken. So this would be a choice you guys, right? You guys would have to make. So I'm gonna ask you guys right now that we're here, we've broken this recent swing low. Should we get in for a trade or should we leave it? I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. In fact, let me put up a poll real quick. That way you guys can just vote instead of me waiting for an answer. So give me 1 second. Should we enter a buy? All right, so the poll is there. And then Maximum 7 said, got robbed, man. How? I'm gonna explain. DJ said mostly down for a retrace. Okay, got you. You guys, please vote. Should we enter for a buy, or should we sell? And give me 1 second, guys. I just have to take this off. I gotta grab the Discord. Let me grab the link real quick. Invite people. Okay, I'm gonna post it in here. Okay, people are still voting. Keep voting, guys. Keep voting. I want to see. Oh gosh, I got to do this. Can you guys do me a favor? Can somebody comment real quick too, so you can push the, this happens all the time. Push the, somebody just say something random, a dot, a period, it doesn't matter. Just say something so I can push the comment up so I can pin it. This, on this software I'm using, the emoji drawer always hides the 3 dots that gives me the option to pin the link. So somebody just comment real quick, anything, a dot, a period, anything, just saying. In fact, let me just do it myself. There we go. So I'll pin the message. There you go. The message has been pinned. All right. So we have about 10 votes in here. 60% say yes and 40% say no. All right. So somebody say YOLO, bro. We're not YOLOing. You got to make up your mind, bro. We're not going to YOLO. Okay. So here we go. We're going to go in for a buy. Okay. Stops right there. 1 to 2 is all we need. 1 to 2. Okay. In fact, let me just do this. It'll be easier. That way we can see it happen in real time. It's kind of close. Let me do it like that instead. And boom. Okay. It's 10 o'clock. We're ranging. Let's see where the power lies. Come on. Oh, shoot. Okay. So we didn't eventually make it there yet. I don't like when price does this where it gets up here and then it starts doing this. Because 2 things. If my stops are break even, it'll most likely tag me and then go up like what happened with Nas. Or it might just give us almost one of those like almost trades and then going down. But as you can see, not a horrible trade. Okay. You would at this point decide what you want to do. You can see price went up. We were going higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And guess what happened? We started to change. And then now we're going up here and now we're going down here. So we have, let me just put this there. We have this to worry about. Okay. Now, again, let me explain to you guys what I would do if this was indices. Because indices is like index trades pairs are such tricksters. What could happen is that price would violate this, like completely violate this, right? Tap you out and then shoot to the roof. This happens all the time, especially on Nas. But because this is gold, I would say if price does start to break structure below here and like it's holding, just get out the trade, especially if it's around break even. Okay, that's what I would personally do. Okay, so that's what we would do for today. So that is my position right now. Price came into this level and is pushing towards the upside. Essentially, price would either want to target up here, right, or eventually up there. So we will see what happens. So that's my analysis for gold. If you're doing like long term, just wait this consolidation out. Look at something else for an hour. Just sit on your hands. And if you're scalping and whatnot, you could play the range, right? You know what I mean? You could play this range we got going on, but that's up to you. I'd personally just leave it alone. All right, let's talk about Colombia while we look at somebody else. So let's do GJ. All right, so I'm gonna do GJ, GBP. All right, so here was my experience in Colombia. For those of you who are here for what they call on the internet the T. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys my honest experience in Colombia. And I almost got robbed is a bit of an exaggeration, a little bit, but I'll explain to you guys what I mean. So this is what happened. Took my wife to Colombia, went on vacation, went there to do a lot of stuff. This was my honest experience. Colombia itself is beautiful. Okay, Colombia itself is absolutely beautiful. They have a lot of beautiful places, and there are some beautiful people there. This is the challenge that made it very difficult for me to enjoy Colombia the way I wanted. There was 2 things. Number 1, no one spoke English at all. And I know you're thinking, well, if you go to a foreign country, nobody speaks English. Not true. In the last like 3 years, I've been to 10 different countries. Everyone speaks some English. And my issue is not that they don't speak English. It's how they respond to you if they find out you don't speak English. Now, I'm not talking about the locals. Okay, who was it that was in here that was, let me close this poll, by the way. Somebody was in here saying they're from Colombia. Where are they at? Where are they at? Max Power. There you go, Max Power. So Max Power, I'm not talking about the locals. If you watch my story, the best people I met in Colombia were like locals. I'm talking about the professionals in Colombia. The professionals. I mean, the people at the airports, the stores, the malls and stuff. Those guys, excuse me, say were horrible. The second you say you don't speak Spanish, they give you this dirty look. Like, oh, no. And then after they're like, they either put their head down, ignore you, or just like kind of brush you off. So that was really bad. I've never been to a place where customer service wise, people treated you like that. It was just really, really, really awkward. So that's what made the experience bad. Now let's talk about the good things. The food was great. Okay. Weather is beautiful. Like I said, the local people, amazing human beings. The greatest people I met there were the local people. I met a guy named, what's his name? Oscar. He's on my, you'll see him in my stories. Oscar was an amazing guy. Treated us like gold. Okay. But the professionals, I'm talking about people at the airport, people in the store, like the professionals, if you go for a service or anything like that, they were just very rude. And I have some of it on video. I have, in fact, not some, I have a lot of it on video where people just flat out ignore you or treat you like garbage or like talk behind your back. They don't know I have a translator on, right? And these people are saying crazy things. You see what I'm saying? So that was a really bad experience. Now let's talk about, while I'm doing GJ, let's talk about how I almost got robbed. So if you guys watch my Instagram stories, you'll see that there was a period where I didn't post for like, I don't know, like maybe 7 hours or so. And what happened was on the last, so two things happened. One of the professionals we dealt with, because we went out there for a certain thing as well, and it got pushed back because they skipped steps and thought that they could just kind of like brush it off and be like, okay, you guys can go. And that didn't work. We ended up, listen to this, I already spent like, I think at that time I was like 13K into this trip. Okay. I had to buy another ticket because of these guys. So that night I spent like another 3K to buy a ticket because I had to miss my first flight. Okay. Because of them. They didn't really care. They were, like I said, trying to brush it off or whatever the case is. So that was already a really bad experience. Then the service they provided themselves, that didn't go that great. Okay. So we ended up having to take a flight. We had to wake up 3 a.m, okay, to get to the airport. No problem. So we get to the airport and flight's delayed. Nobody wants to help. Nobody wants to give you information. But Cali was fine. When we got to Bogota, which this guy, I keep forgetting his name, Max Power was mentioning, Bogota treated us like garbage. And here's where I say I almost got robbed. So this is what happened. Guys, give me 5 minutes. I'm going to explain to you how I almost got robbed. And you guys can make up your mind. So when we got to Bogota airport, right? When I came off the plane, we were all rushing off the plane. I left my backpack on the plane. In this backpack where I had just bought before we went on vacation, I bought my wife a very expensive pair of glasses, almost like 1K. Okay? We had electronic devices, all these valuable things in the backpack. So as soon as I realized, I told them, hey, I want to go back on the plane. What did they say? They said no. I'm like, all right. I'm not arguing at this time, right? Because it's probably standard procedure. But because of safety reasons or whatever the case is, they probably don't want to let you on the plane. I'm cool with that. I'm like, all right, cool. Can you get somebody to retrieve my bag? I tell them which seat I was sitting, where I placed the bag, all that good stuff. They go, no, you're going to have to go to Lost and Found and report it. I'm like, so nobody can just run on the plane real quick and just get my bag? Like, oh, no. Right? And then, again, because you don't speak Spanish, they're just blowing you off. They keep blowing you off and pointing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm already, I'm a very patient person, so I'm not trying to make anything a big deal. We go all the way to Lost and Found. Mind you, we were delayed coming there, right? We were delayed. So our flight leaves in about 20 minutes. And now I have to go down because the way they printed out our board pass, they don't even tell you what gate. Like when you travel to most places, they'll tell you, okay, now that you get off, your connection flight is at gate 6 or gate 21B, whatever the case is. None of that. It just says gate. So we have to go around, guess what? Asking people, where do we go? Everyone asks this, Espanol? No? And they put their head down. Some of them don't even respond back. Others say, I don't understand. Sorry, you go over there. I'm like, all right, nobody's trying to. And these are people who are working at like, I'm not talking about like I went by a cleaner or I went by somebody who's selling food. I'm talking about the flight attendants, the people who make the announcement. Nobody there speaks English or wants to speak English. And if you can't speak English is one thing. Get me somebody who does. Nobody. The second you say that, I'm like, can you get me somebody? I have a translator on my phone. I'll tell them, can you get somebody who speaks English? No. You. That was my whole experience. Mind you, my bag is lost. I'm about to leave. Okay. I've already spent money because of the delay from the first airport. Now I'm about to miss my flight. So we finally go downstairs to the Lost and Found. When I get there, I know something weird was going on. Those two, there was 3 people in there, 2 girls and 1 guy. They were giving me dirty looks, which I'm not, guys, I'm not trying to sound like a prima donna. I'm not one of those to be like, did you see that? The way they look. I don't care about those things. People judge you all the time. I don't give a damn. But they were looking at me weird and they kept speaking in the language. Okay, no problem. I'm like, hey, I lost a bag. Can you guys find it? They're like, okay, 1 second. Like, this is after the translator, right? This took like 10 minutes. Plane's about to leave in 10 again. So I'm like, can you guys find the bag? They go, they're talking, they're giving me looks, talking. Then she come back, she's like, oh no, there's no bag. I'm like, no, there is a bag. You're going to have to find the bag because there's valuables in there and I can't leave and my plane leaves in 10 minutes. And they kept saying, oh, there's no bag. There's nobody that can find it. Blah, 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 blah. We're going back and forth. I'm using a translator. Eventually, one of the girls comes out and goes like, tell them to go. We don't care. Tell them to go. We don't care, right? She's saying in the language of the translator. She's like, tell them it's done. No, don't even talk to them no more. This is supposed to be customer service professionals that were treating us like this. So they didn't want to give me the bag. So I'm like, bro, I have my... So eventually she gives me this thing. She's like, you have to call the lost and found number on WhatsApp. So I add these people. You know what these people are telling me? There's no bag. Oh, no bag showed up. No, nothing. I sent the guy a picture of my bag because I had a video as I was doing my lives and not lives. I was doing my stories on Instagram. So I had a video. I'm like, this is my bag. This is what you're looking for. They're like, oh, okay. Let's see if we can find it. The guy takes he takes like half an hour to come back and tell me he hasn't found it. You know how we ended up getting our bag? We had to go upstairs eventually because we couldn't miss the flight. So my wife and I are like, okay, if we lose all those valuables, it is what it is. We can't pay another $3,000 to get on the flight because then we're 20 grand into this trip, right? So we go upstairs. That was a hassle to find. Eventually we meet our gate. We find out where we're supposed to be. We start talking to the air hostess or the flight attendants, whatever, the people at the gate. And my wife is asking them, hey, can you guys get this bag? So they start looking. There was 3 girls there, one older lady and one younger one. They were, I won't lie, they were kind of nice. So they're looking into it. They're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, they come back with, yeah, there's no bag, there's no bag, there's no bag, there's no bag, there's no bag. I'm like, no, there has to be a bag. So mind you, the plane is leaving now. People are boarding. We're going back and forth. Eventually, what happened was this. Somebody said something in Spanish to them, and the girl translated this to us. She said, you have 2 options. Either you miss your flight, right? We take you off the flight. You can go get your bag, right? And you miss your flight, or you leave without your bag and you write a letter to us from the US and then we will, basically send you your bag. I'm like, what kind of process is that? So I'm like, there is no way. You said you found my bag. I can't go downstairs. Like the airport only has 2 levels. I'm like, I can't go downstairs and get my bag. You know what I mean? Just like down. Oh no. I'm like, why? They're like, oh, the security, the US security won't allow us to go through. I'm like, there is no US security. When we came through, it was all you guys. And she's like, oh, no, but none of us. I said, so you mean to tell me you work in this airport? You can't go downstairs? No, it's not possible. It's not possible. I'm like, so you guys have no way of going. So they're all like, no, sorry, there's nothing I can do. Sorry, there's nothing. Those are the only options you have. Then my wife goes, I'll give you $50 if you can take me downstairs to get the bag. Guess what happened? They took us to get the bag. That is terrible. If we didn't offer $50, they would have not given us our bag. All of a sudden, the same people who they don't have security clearance, guess what they do? They all have a badge that they just tap at the doors and they can go through wherever. She took me to go get my bag. And when I got there, the same girl that tried to blow me off in the beginning, the guy there was upset with me. And I never spoke to him once. He was giving me the look and he was asking in language, what does he want? Does he still want to claim the bag? And basically, they were like, oh, what's in the bag? I told them what's in the bag. They're like, how do you know it's yours? I told them, what's the color of the bag? I showed them everything. They still don't want to release the bag to me. You know when they released the bag to me? When I said, okay, I have a video of me wearing the bag and me putting it under the seat. When I showed it to her, you should have seen her face. They wanted to keep the bag because they saw what was in there. There was a lot of valuable stuff I bought for my wife that was in the bag. They didn't want to give me the bag. And the flight attendant who we paid $50 to take us down there was telling her in the language, we don't have time. The plane is leaving. The plane is leaving. Like literally the plane is boarded. People are leaving. He's going to miss his flight. She still doesn't care. Taking her sweet time. You know the form she had to fill out? She just had to write my name, passport number, and today's date. It took her 15 minutes to do that. The plane was boarded at 9:30. We didn't leave. I didn't get back upstairs till 10:30. It was by God's grace that for some reason the flight didn't leave. I was able to make it back up. That right there made me say, and no disrespect to Max Power, whatever his name is, I'm never going back to Colombia. Ever. That was the worst experience. I've been to Caribbean countries. I've been to countries in Europe. I've been to countries in Africa. I've been to countries all over the world. It's not a language barrier that I have an issue with. You're going to go to places people don't speak English, which most people do, but that's fine. I have a problem with the fact that everyone treated us the same. All of them. The second you don't speak Spanish, they don't want to help you. And the people that were supposed to help us, they were annoyed with us for whatever reason. So as a result, I eventually got my bag back and we made it on the flight. And that's what took me so long to get home. I left 3 in the morning, got home 3 in the morning. 24 hours I was traveling. because of things that was out of my control. So that's how I almost got robbed. When I say I almost got robbed, it's because they tried to take my bag. And I have a translator. I have a bunch of video clips that I'm still going to translate. I have the girl on camera. I have them saying all these things. They were horrible people. This is not to say Colombians are horrible. Like I said, some of the best people I've ever met in my life were Colombians. Beautiful people. There's genuine, the locals, they're all great souls. It's the professionals. I don't know what's their problem is, but they were literally, the guy was like trying to get her to stall me so that I can miss my flight, right? Because it's like, okay, if I'm going to get the bag, then they still want to. It was weird. Long story short, I'm never going back to Colombia. No disrespect to Max Power, first and last time. So that's how I almost got robbed. They almost took my stuff. And I have proof of this in videos and with the translations. Okay, guys, if you ever travel, make sure you have the translator app on your phone. You'd be shocked at things people say when they don't think you understand the language. So that's the tea. If you guys want to hop off now, you can. It's already 12, but I'm doing this long breakdown with you guys because, you know, it's been a week. Tomorrow we'll do another one as well. So let's do GBP, JPY, and then maybe after that we'll call it a day. All right, guys. So that's what happened to me in Colombia. My wife was livid. It ruined her entire experience. It was her birthday, and to be quite honest, this almost ruined the whole birthday. We went to some nice places. We got to see some nice things, eat some good food. We did a lot of nice activities, as you guys saw on my Instagram. But the way people treated us at the airport, I'm never going back. All right, enough of that. Let's get to GJ. All right, so GJ, as we know, is another one. We've talked about this before. Okay, price goes up, then down, goes back up, then down some more, and now it's gone up. And what's happened here is that it's broken this high. So at this point, we can assume, even though it's a pair that seems like it kind of tanks for the most part, we can assume that because of this break, we might be in a not long term, but still somewhat bullish. Okay. Black Hall said, I'm not an Englishman, but know a little bit of English. Oh yeah, I've spoken to you a lot of times when I was doing your account, setting up your account for the giveaway. He was like, bro, I'm sorry, my English is not great and stuff like that. But he was trying. And his English is, if he didn't say anything, you really wouldn't know. His English is good. And guys, that's not the point. If your English is not good or you don't speak English, I have no issue with you. It's not by force that you speak English. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I go to your country and you don't speak my language, that's not your problem. I totally understand that. But there's something called customer service, which means you do your best to serve your customers. I'm not asking you to backflip off of a table or give me a free ride. I'm asking you to get back something that I dropped. And if you're going to treat me like that and connive and try and cheat me out of it, that speaks volumes of you. You see what I'm saying? So, Professor said, wow, so sorry about that, bro. I'm glad you got your bag and didn't miss the flight. Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. At that point, I was just worn out because I had already missed the first flight. And the second one was delayed by an hour. Then when we got to the US finally, that was also delayed. Just the last bit of the trip was really was not great. I can't tell you the last time I spent so much money on a trip and it almost went so sour. It was crazy. All right, so here we are in this channel here. You can see price has been going up for a while. But again, this is a pair that tends to go down, so we have to be careful. We can also see up here, this was the last region of structure, okay, that we had before price kind of broke. Now, another thing too is this. If you guys see price goes above a region, right, it's supposed to use it as like a trampoline to go back up and it doesn't, but rather it starts doing this, then just know that this was a fake out, okay? So here we are, price went up, didn't bounce off of this region. It's like below, and now we have to see what's happening here. So for me, I'm still bullish, but I'm going to be super careful because on the weekly, look at all these bearish gaps. When you have gaps in the market like this, that means price moved with extreme force, okay? So let's go down to the daily. You can see the daily here. We have some gaps and things of that nature. Let's go down now to the 1 hour, okay? So far, we are supposed to be bullish, but because we're in a very interesting area, we want to be careful how we respond, okay? So here's what I'm looking at now. I'm in this zone that tells me price may reverse to the bottom or may continue to the top. Okay, considering GJ likes to go down, I'm actually going to be leaning slightly towards the bearish side, but let's wait for some confirmation. To the left hand here, we have a couple things that we can look at. We have this gap right here. We have this gap right here. Okay, and then we have a couple up here, but nothing's there yet. This is the most significant one. You do have this one here that's already been kind of, violated. So I'm not going to focus on that. What I'm looking for is this. At this point, I'm looking at it and saying on the 1 hour, I'm waiting for price to get to this area. Once price gets to this area, I'll look for something on the 15 to take towards the downside. If not, then because we've been going bullishly, at least for the last couple of days, right? I'm going to be looking for something I can use to go towards the upside. So here's my rule for things like this, guys. And I hope it helps you out. This is my rule. If my aim was to get in somewhere here, okay? Oops, wrong one. If my aim was to get in somewhere here, let's say, right, and ride this to up here, if price hits this take profit zone or this level before coming down, I'm not going to take the trade even if it comes down, because price has already hit my take profit. And the reason why my take profit is up there is because price should be, if it's going bullish, it should continue to that level. If it goes to that level and starts to retrace, I should be careful. So I'm waiting for price to get to this level. So if right now price retraces from here and comes down, I'm interested in taking something in here to go towards the upside. Okay? If not, and price does something like, let's say like this, and then goes and touches this and comes down, I am not going to enter anything. Why? Because we're at this zone. That means there's a good chance price might respect this level and continue downwards. Me buying at this level would be like, you know what I mean? It just wouldn't make any sense. So right now, I'm going to be looking for gaps on the 1 hour just to see. There's the best gaps are usually the ones from the push right here. They usually make the best zones, but with indices, again, they can be very tricky. But we have one gap right here. We have another one right here. And then we have one final one like right here as well. Okay. We do have a tiny one here. So I will mark that up as well. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go down to the 15. Remember, let me go back to where are we at now? Let's go to 8 o'clock. Okay. So this is what I got going on. This is what I got going on. Okay. We have these gaps right here. Let me just tidy this up because technically the 15 still works. All right. So we have these gaps right here. So it's 8 o'clock. What I'm looking for to see if we're going to see what we can take towards the upside is how price is going to respond to any of those zones. So we have price coming up here. Oops. We have price coming up here. It's currently 7:59. Remember, I don't trade till 8:30. Okay. So, ooh, we might have missed that one. We'll see. Yeah. So we missed that one there, but that's okay. All right. 9 o'clock, 9:25, 9:30, 9:55, 10:30. Yeah, I got nothing. That's it. This is if I was scalping, I got nothing for the day. If I'm swinging, like I always tell you guys, if I'm a swing trader, all I'm waiting for is price to respond to these levels. That's it. Okay. For the most part, if I'm swinging, I'm not even going to consider these gaps. I'm considering this. Okay. None of these gaps are relevant to me because on the long term or on the higher time frame, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing price come all the way up. Okay. And now price has broken this low and has retraced. So to me, this is a retracement. I'm expecting something within anywhere here to go back down. And considering this was a nice support area before or resistance area before, I'm anticipating that somewhere within this range is going to go down. So if I'm swinging, I'm waiting for my setup somewhere within here to take towards the downside. I'm bearish. If I'm scalping, like I showed you guys on the 1 minute, our opportunities didn't really happen. So for today, it's, there's nothing. But for the, let me go back. For the short term, I was bullish. Okay. For the short term, this is what my position was. I was waiting for price to come somewhere within that range and go towards the upside, which it did. It kind of came here, but it was at 8:15, so I couldn't have taken the trade. So that's basically it for GJ, guys. All right. So in the long run, I'm bearish. Okay. In the short term, I'm bullish. If I'm swinging, I'm bearish. If I'm scalping, until we hit this line right here, let me just mark it. Until we hit this line right here, I'm bullish. I will not consider selling until we get to this zone. All right. So that's the last of that. Yulomi said, what a hell experience. Common decency is not common anymore. Yulomi, you guys, I'm just trying to be nice about it because this is somebody's country. I mean, Max Power said I'm from there, so I want to be careful how I say it. My wife would have worse words to say, but that experience was absolutely horrific. K-Dot said, damn. Yeah, guys, it's just one of those things that you'll never hear me go to a country and say I'll never go there again. No matter what the conditions are. I've been to countries that are impoverished, absolutely impoverished, okay? And I would still revisit This was not because of language barrier. This was not because the place was too dirty or not clean enough or didn't have nice. No, it was they literally tried to take something that belongs to me, and they're professionals. That tells me everything I need to know. Okay, and it wasn't just at the airport. Like I said, everybody else we dealt with for the services we acquired, same thing. They lie to you about a bunch of things. You'll be there and they'll be speaking the language, and it's so, you guys, I don't know how it is in your country, but in Canada, we're not allowed to speak our language at work at all. You're supposed to speak. Now, again, this is in Colombia, so their natural language is Spanish. I'm just saying, in general, you're not allowed to speak your language when there are other people around, okay? You do that in your break rooms, on your lunchtime and stuff like that. When you're dealing with customers, right? My wife and I have some businesses. One of them has a physical building. We have a commercial property. When clients come there, no one speaks in their language. You're not allowed to. Because what do you think the person in the chair or the person at the desk or the person at the front who's acquiring your services, what do you think they're thinking? They're thinking you're speaking about them. It's the reason why if you guys watch a lot of these videos on Instagram, TikTok, and these girls go to the nail salons, the second the Asian woman starts speaking their language, everybody gets uncomfortable. It sounds like they're speaking about them, and a lot of videos have shown they are. And so it's just little things like that. And the crazy part is that one of the services that we went to, the guy himself said, oh, people complain, that we speak in the language and it's not good. So I tried to tell them to stop. And they did exactly that for the whole time. It's just, it doesn't feel like the people that we were paying good money to, or that were supposed to be doing their job, didn't seem like they cared about us at all. The second we didn't speak the language or anything, they had no interest in us. And then on top of that, they tried to take what was ours. It's insane, man. Never again. So shout out to you guys for being part of this. That was the story on almost getting robbed. And this is the breakdown of GJ. Guys, it's 12:18. I'm going to call it at 12:30. Anything else? We got 12 minutes. If you guys got nothing else, I'll bid y'all farewell. But I will say this, I missed you guys. We have a lot going on, okay? We're going to be doing a series, a challenge, guys, where I'm going to be trading just Forex, no indices, okay? So we're going to do a challenge account, and we're going to trade it, and I'll be trading it live. So if you guys are interested, make sure you join the Discord, you know what I mean? So that when we start doing this, you can be there as well. For those of you who are new and never traded a prop from challenge, I'm working with the moderator. We're going to put together something that helps you guys to how to approach a prop firm, risk management, trade entries, trade calculators, depending on the platform using, all these different things that'll help you. I'm also planning I've already talked about this, but I'm going to open up the channel for one-on-one calls. So if you guys want to speak to me one-on-one and have me walk you through certain things or whatever the case is, we'll do that for sure. And then with that, I'm planning to add things like a trade journal, a trade calendar, a sheet for back testing, like different tools that I think you guys will appreciate. So stay tuned for all of that. K-Dot said he's on a sell on Euro USD. Let's take a look at Euro USD. Oh, nice. USD looks like it's going towards the floor. Where did you get in? I'd be curious to see where you got in. We already took this trade earlier. Not took this trade, but we did this example earlier. I'm curious to see where you got in. But yeah, it looks like Euro USD is really respecting the zone and going down. So nice. Nice. But yeah, for those of you who are new, we're going to be setting up things so that you guys can have the right tools and resources to trade and, get the right education. I'm also, guys, hear me out. Don't hold me to this, but I'm planning to make, listen carefully, a free course. Free as in you pay nothing. I'm not going to sell the course. I'm planning to make a free course to help you guys with your trading. Okay, a free course. So again, don't hold me to it because it's a lot of work. I was talking to the mod about it. He's like, yeah, you'd have to do this, basic introduction to that, then market structure, candlestick. I'm like, bro, it's a lot of work. It's a full-time job. So it might take me some time, but I'm planning to make a free course for you guys so that you guys can have all the information, the tools you need to trade, okay? There's a lot of you guys who are watching who are new, so I just want to make sure that you guys have the best information and experience, all right? Blackout say, yes, I'm already sell on you. Okay. Kata said down 2R. Really? How are you down? Okay, he's putting in his TP. Okay, we'll find out. So it seems like some of you guys are already in sales. So let's take a look at what you guys got going on. So I'm going to move this over. He said TP. TP is at, where is it profit level? At 10637. Oh, okay. 10637. Okay. And then where is Entry is at 10684. 10684. And then stop loss at 10688. I see. Oh, that's a good trade. So how are you done? No, you're not. That you meant to say you're up 2R. There's no way you're down unless you got closed out. Titan said, glad to see you safe after Colombia, brother. Thank you. Thank you very much. Almost didn't make it here. I appreciate you. Thank you guys very much. Also, guys, I have to address something. I'll probably do it in another live, but you know, some people were like, hey, you and your wife look, somebody messaged me and said, hey, you and your wife look good together in the videos. I'm like, I didn't show my wife. And they're like, oh, she was wearing red. If you go on my Instagram and you see a woman in my videos and she's wearing red in a jumpsuit, that's not my wife. That lady is almost 50 years old. That is not my wife, guys. That lady's Colombian. My wife is black. Okay, so just to clear it up there, that's not my wife. That's someone else's wife. I know the man. Okay, that's someone else's wife. It is not. I want to make this clear. That is not my wife. All right. I appreciate you guys though for looking out. Yomi said nice. I meant I was down 2R due to other trades I took today. I've got 2 losses already. Oh, bro, if you've taken 2R down today, you shouldn't trade. That's it. Cut it out. No more trades. No more trades. No more trades. If you're down 2R, don't. Titan said they're going to mix up your marriage. Yeah, guys, please. Okay. I don't want to see DMs of all these things I have to explain to my wife that, listen, I mean, she was there, so it's all good. But yeah, that is not my wife, guys. All right. That is not my wife. All right. My wife is not in the videos. She will be on camera. She's not camera shy or anything like that, but we just chosen to not have her on camera just yet. But I will eventually show you guys my beautiful queen that I got going on by God's grace. So yeah, glad to see you back, brother. Glad to see you too, bro. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I know you probably just hopped in, so you didn't hear the story about Colombia. You didn't see all the trade breakdowns we did, but we did analysis on your USD. This was the trade example we did. We did analysis on GJ. We did one on NAS, and we did one on gold. All right. Right now we're looking at the position that one of our members is in, and when I say members, I mean like Discord members, not like no paid Telegram or nothing. But one of our, I should have a name for you guys, eh? I was talking to the Discord mod. If you guys join the Discord, it will say you're now a foreigner. I'm like, bro, do you think that's going to be good, or you think people are going to be offended? He's like, nah, foreigner sounds cool. So if you join the Discord, you're officially a foreigner. All right. So all my foreigners in the chat, shout out to all you guys. One of our foreigners here is in a trade. And this is the position he's in. Really, really nice trade. That's a crazy trade. He's almost like, this is going to be like a 1 to 12. He should make back his 2R and some. DJ Mustang said 50 years old. Yeah, bro, that lady, listen. No shade to Colombians. A lot of Colombians there, especially the ones that have money, they do facial injections, they do body work, so they don't look their age, all right? They don't look their age. So I'll just put it that way. You can still tell she's old. But just in case you go on my Instagram, you see a woman in a red jumpsuit, that is not my wife. Just want to say it again. That is not my wife, okay? My wife is black. That lady's Colombian. And she's almost 50 years old. I had to tell the guy, I was like, bro, that lady, she almost 50, bro. That is not my wife. And he was like, oh, no, I thought I saw her somewhere else. I'm like, all right, cool. Just understand the lady that you said in the red jumpsuit, that's not her. That is not her. Titan is laughing. Yeah, bro. It's let me see if I can show you guys, actually. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can show you guys some of my stories. 1 second. I got to turn this off for a brief moment. Okay, for a brief moment. Let me see if I could show you guys my stories and whatnot. Let's see. How do I go to my Instagram? Oh, there we go. All right. So let me see if I can show you guys this. If you guys go to my stories and stuff like that, I may be able to show you guys who I'm talking about. Let me see. 1 second. Oh, these are old ones. Will it go back? No. Okay. So I got to go to my highlights. Travel. Let me see if I can show you guys. Yikes. I got to go back far. Wait, no. What the heck? Oh, YouTube, indices, forex. Oh, okay, so it's this one. How do I... Guys, man, this is so bad. How do I... I want to show you guys my highlights, but it's probably only on the phone, because on the phone, if you click travel, you should see all the traveling that I did. I don't know why it's not showing. Let me go back to my stories. Yeah, remember, stories are only for 24 hours, so I can't show you guys, sorry. But if you guys go on my Instagram, you'll be able to see my shoot, that really sucks. Let me Can I edit? No. Okay, let's go next. Let's see what happens. Select it. Okay, stories. There we go. Maybe I can show you guys. Maybe you guys can see in real time. Titan said you stream every day. Yes, I do. Every day, brother. Don't miss it. Join the Discord. Join the live. Let me show you what they were talking about. This woman right here. I think it was. So, there's a couple. Man, how do I do this? I'm going to have to add this. All right, let me just add everything. This was all to my story. As you guys can see, there's a lot that you guys missed. So just go over there and check. Let me see if I can find the video. Because it's this one. It's this one right here. But I don't want to... Those of you guys who are Instagram experts, if I add just these ones, can I go back and add those later on and it would be in chronological order? Or will I mess up the whole timeline? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, but just in case, if you go to my Instagram after the live, okay, and you check my stories, you will see these 3 videos. Okay, there's her foot. The woman wearing the jumpsuit. That is not my wife. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me see something here. Let's go to next. Let's see something. Okay, let's go to done. Let's see. All right, cool. Yeah, okay. I'm on the way. Okay, hold on. Right there. I can't pause it. That woman. Okay? She was in a couple. We went out together. Her, me, her, my wife, and a group of people. We went out. Okay? She's also right here. I'll show you. Right there. That is not my wife. That lady almost 50, bro. She's almost 50. All right? That is not my wife. Oh, there you go. That's how I pause it. Okay, cool. Let me go back real quick. That woman. Okay? Her. Right there. That lady is... Let me type it up for you guys. 50. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat. Don't want to get a misconstrued. Almost 50. Almost. Okay? So, she is somebody we went out with. You know what I mean? We went to a nice restaurant. It was my wife's birthday. Okay? Titan said I'm official foreigner. That's what's up. Welcome to the club, baby. Welcome to the club. All us foreigners sticking together, making this bread, making this money. All right? So that's her. That some people thought was my wife. It's not her. Okay? She was in a couple of the videos. It's not her. You guys get the point. Okay? So let me go back to Trading View. All right? So I just had to make that clear. You hit TP, by the way. K-Dot, you hit TP. So shout out to you. That is a fire trade. It's been an eventful week, guys. It's been an wow, she looks so good. DJ. Hey, baby. Hey. You're live? Yeah, I'm live. Oh. Yeah.
Hi, guys.
don't start this.
Hi, guys.
Can you guys hear her?
Hi, sorry, honey.
Can you guys hear her? DJ said, wow, she looks so good. Yo, DJ, listen, behave yourself. Behave yourself. I don't even know how old you are, but behave yourself. That is somebody else's wife, please. For that age, no problem. Let her be. She's don't let the African in me come out. She's somebody else's. You gonna go get ready? Okay, baby. I'll see you soon. I'm coming off soon, anyways. Okay. That's pretty funny, man. People assume anything nowadays. Hey, man, all the way from England. What's good, Money Hunter? Thank you for joining. That is absolutely fire, bro. Welcome to the club. Join the Discord, man. We go live every day. We do free analysis. We trade. We do all these different things. Okay, so. 1 second, I gotta. All right, so yeah, Kata say yeah, we can hear. Hi, Mrs. Foreign. She just left. I'll let her come back after, guys. Eventually I'm gonna bring her on camera. Probably one of these streams, maybe for another milestone. Maybe when we hit 2K or something. I don't know. We're already at like 1100. Maybe when we hit 2K, I'll have my wife come on here. She's not camera shy or anything like that. It's just, you know, the internet is a weird place, so you try and keep your life private because people are just weird. And I'm not talking about you guys. You guys are amazing, but some people just weird. So And as you can see, we have internet detectives who thought that that lady in the jumpsuit was my wife. You see what I'm saying? So we don't know what people want to do with this information. And we have DJ Mustang who's appreciating somebody. DJ, God will punish you. God will punish you. Somebody else's wife. God will punish you. Yo, where's Yolomi, bro? Yolomi's like Yolomi's like our mom in here. She's always the one correcting us, telling us guys don't do those things. Where's Yolomi? If you left, I'm sad that you're gone. I would love to hear what you have to say about what DJ is out here doing. But yeah, K Dot said www. Yeah, that's fire, bro. Shout out to you. That's a really good trade, guys. This is the trade that K Dot was in. Stop loss is right here. So obviously he entered in around here, like that. Really tight stop loss, but he hit almost a 1 to 12 fire trade. Put some fire emojis in the chat for K Dot, guys. He a couple weeks ago he was down like 4R or something like that. Then he got up 5R. Then he said this morning he was down 2R, and now he just made this trade. So it goes to show you, if you follow your strategy, you'll always be profitable. But K Dot, please don't take more than 2 trades a day, bro. Because if you want to keep your money and not give back to the markets, you gotta have rules, man. Try not to, but to each his own. But yeah, so eventually I'll bring my wife on and you guys could chop it up with her, say hi, all that stuff. Are you born and raised in the U.S.? No, I'm actually not from the U.S. I get it all the time. Some people, like, especially when I was younger, people thought I was from the Caribbean. I was born in Toronto, Canada. My parents are from West Africa, Ghana. And yeah, I'm in the U.S. all the time. Like today I'm going back to the U.S., even though we just came from there. I'm going back to the U.S. today. Who knows? I might go live when I'm in the U.S. for you guys to see, but I'm not from the U.S., brother. But thanks for asking. Mr. R put some fire emojis. DJ said, we love that age here. DJ, DJ, behave yourself. Behave yourself. You're a bad boy. You're a bad boy. Have you guys seen that meme? Oh yeah, so Yolomi's in here. She said, hello, Mrs. Ford. Yeah, I'm gonna have her say what up real quick when she comes back, all right? So you guys can at least like hear her voice, get to know her, whatnot. But yeah, my wife is a whole goddess, bro. She's a queen. And I say that not because she's so beautiful, but she's a good person. When I met her, I was dead broke, had nothing. She saw what everybody else couldn't see in me. All this that we have now, being able to spend almost 20K on a trip and stuff like that. I told her, I promised her when I met her, I was dead broke when I met her, but I said, I ain't got nothing right now, but I promise if you stick with me, I'm going to give you a life you never dreamed of. And when I met her, she was working like a basic job and stuff. Now, I won't say the business we started. We have a business that I started, you know, where her we built up. I help her run it and stuff like that. We are, and I'm not exaggerating here, if everything goes well, we're gonna probably make $250,000 this year, like $250K. Okay, by God's grace. We've come from the, like, bro, we were a couple years ago, we were almost homeless. We were standing in a food line at the bank, at the shelter, right? Looking for food. Bro, it's been rough, man. People don't even know. But that's a story for a different day. Kida says still trying to refine it because tight stop loss probably won't be good for my mental. No, tight stop loss, bro, is stress, man. You're gonna have heart problems. You're going to start seeing gray hair. Tight stop loss is not a thing. Always behind a recent swing high or swing low, okay? In this case, I mean, here is still too tight. And remember, with spreads, you're asking to be taken out from the slightest move. This is, with spreads, that's going to eat your trades, okay? You might want to put it here just to be safe, all right? You could still get a nice, obviously 1 to 2 is not what everybody wants. Some people want 1 to 10, 1 to 50, 1 to 20, no problem. I'm just saying I always go for safety over the long stuff. Titan said, nice. I had to ask because I'm from the Caribbean. Oh, where are you from, bro? Let us know. My wife is from the Caribbean, so I'm really curious to know where you're from. Nice. A man who hustles and a wife who stands by his side. 1 in a million. Bro, not even trying to brag. I agree. I think if you can find a good partner in life, you'll be rich no matter what. If you have somebody who stands behind you in thickness and in thin, in light and in dark, sickness through health, like for real, there's nothing the two of you can accomplish. When people see us doing well, they ask, oh, what's the secret to your success? I always credit God because God showed us everything. But people think it's a cliche answer. The next thing I go to right after God is my wife. My wife is the reason why I was able to make it this far. I found a good wife. She helped me build the dreams. And now we're here. Okay, so find yourself a good partner. Yolimi said, hey, I'm 53. What's your problem? Aging gracefully. No, Yolimi. I beg you, please. I beg. DJ, explain to her. This is not even one of those. I am saying, Yolomi, that DJ was, listen, the lady in the red jumpsuit who was in my videos, that's someone thought was my wife. I was saying she's somebody else's wife and she's almost 50. And DJ said, boy, she looks good. And I said, behave yourself. And I said, where's Yolomi? So Yolomi can tell him that, you know, he shouldn't be chasing someone else's wife at that age. And it's different if DJ is also your age. DJ is like 20. I bet DJ is like 19. You should, DJ, don't climb trees that are too tall for you. Let me just put it that way. Africans have all these great sayings. Don't try and be smarter than you are. And then Titan said, I'm from Aruba. Oh, that's fire. I've never been to Aruba. That is fire. We should check it out. Yolomi's laughing. Yolomi's laughing. Let's see. Let's check out Aruba. Because, yo, the Caribbean is beautiful. My wife is from the Caribbean. We went to her country. God have mercy, bro. You know the beautiful thing about the Caribbean? The waters are so clean. Like, if you drop something in the water, you can see it. Bro, come see Canada. The water is green like a swamp. If you so much as put your foot in the water in Canada, when you check, the foot is gone. That thing is corrosive. Canadian water is a nasty boy. Shosho said, haha. Tanya said, bro, you got to go for a vacation one day. I will, bro. And if I already told you guys, I'm planning to go back to, I'm planning to go to Edmonton because one of my subscribers who's also in the Discord, his name is Bob FX. He also goes by Abdul. He's there. My brother's there as well. So when I go, I'm going to try and see him. If I go to Aruba, I'll try and see. If I go to Bali, I think Shosho's Bali. If I go to Bali, I'll try and go to see Shosho. Like wherever I'm at, where you guys are at, I'm going to try and meet up with you guys. I think it would be so cool. Super cool. Yolomi said, nice. Professor, where are these good wives found? Okay, so let me, this is going to be kind of touchy. I don't even know how we got here, but he said, I kind of gave up on that department. These days it's just work and my charts. Okay, so here's the thing. Prior to meeting my wife, I was in the, when I was in high school stuff, I was in the game, playing girls, whatnot. Then I met God, wanted to get serious, wanted to find a wife. I spent a year, like literally praying and fasting, asking God for a wife because the women, and I'll be very careful here, but the women in my generation, and at the time, they're just, bro, they were, when I say broken, I don't mean like they were ugly, I just mean like their morals, right? Their morals were gone. The way they were thinking, the thing, I can't start a family with somebody like that, right? So I was asking God for a traditional woman who was supportive, loving, all these things. And long story short, I prayed to God for a wife, and I got my wife. And my wife is not originally from here. She was living in Canada at the time when I met her, but she's from the Caribbean. And my brother is also married to a Caribbean woman. And she also is not like traditional. But long story short, I'm saying this to say that there's a reason why nowadays a lot of men are going outside of the US and Canada and the UK to find a wife. It's because the wives in other countries, because of culture, they have traditional values. So they respect their partners. They are supportive and loving, and they don't have an ego complex where it's like you and I have to be equals. Nothing like that. My wife and I never... all that like, oh, I'm the man. I never have to do that. Even though in my household, I'm the reigning authority. That's never going to change. But it's not one of those is like, I'm the man. You are my slave. It's not like that. But in every team, somebody's captain, somebody's co-pilot. It just, you don't have two presidents. It doesn't work. Someone must always be the one to make the decisions that are the hardest. Someone's got to be able to make that call. And so I would say to you, pray to God, ask for a wife, and be open-minded to the fact that you might meet your wife outside of where you are. Now, listen carefully. If you are from abroad and you go to certain countries, they look at you as a one-way ticket. So you got to be very careful, right? That's why you pray to God, ask him for discernment, ask him to arrange the opportunity. He'll help you meet the right one who sees you for you. And one day, if you guys want, I'll do a whole live just talking about my experience, so we can just, that way people don't come in here expecting charts and then hop off because I'm talking about my love life. You know what I mean? But don't give up, bro. You'll find the right one. Trust me, you will. If you go one day, shoot me a DM. I'll give you the best place to visit. For sure. For sure. I would definitely do that. For sure. Did you say your wife is from Jamaica? She know Vibes Cartel is out of prison. Yo, DJ is just on some menacing stuff. First off, DJ, she's not from Jamaica. She's from a country called... I'll show you. All right? And yes, everyone knows Vibes Cartel is out. And guess what? He was actually just in her country just the other day, okay? She's from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's an island made up of one main island and like 5 other small islands, and it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. My wife is from St. Vincent. Yolomi's laughing again. Titan said, I agree. One creates the house, the other makes it a home. Well said. And in this generation, you say stuff like that, they're like, oh, that's misogynist. It's like, no, like everybody plays their part in every team. Like, I'll give you an example. One of the businesses that my wife and I run together, I'm the visionary type of person. I'm the one who has the vision, the logos, the way the business, all that stuff is me. But she's the manager. I can't manage better than she does. We spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every month for softwares and systems to manage how the money goes out, who gets a email and a thank you response. She still does things with pen and paper, and she's better than the systems we pay for. She's an excellent manager, probably one of the best people, if not the best business person I've ever met. You see what I'm saying? So I don't interfere with hers. She doesn't interfere with mine. We complement each other. She will come up with ideas sometimes. I'll make it happen. I'll come up with ideas sometimes. She will make it run. This is how life works. We have gifts. God has made the world in such a way that without you guys, there's no me. If I'm a king and there are no people to serve, I'm not a king. I'm a king of nothing, right? If I'm a preacher, a rapper, and no one shows up to your concert, your gift has no use. The way God has made us is that our gifts work best when somebody else needs the service. That's why the book of Proverbs says your gift will make room for you. It's your gift. Your gift is designed not for you. People who sing, it's great, but they feel happiest when they're singing to an audience. That's how their gift works. When you perform, dance, whatever, it's because other people require, they need the service, they need the gift, why you become valuable. That's why life people want to chase money. Don't chase money, chase skills. Be a better person internally. Things will come. Every promotion I've ever received in my life came from the skills I built and the person I became. So I'm saying all this to say that you guys make yourselves, you know what I mean, great. And even with wives or husbands, you'll attract the right people. It's all internal work, all right? Kind of went on a little preaching session there, but you get my point. Sammy Daniels was good. He said, greetings, fam. Greetings, my brother. Thank you for joining us today. Professor said, wow, totally get that, bro. Thanks for those words of wisdom. You're welcome, bro. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you consider words of wisdom. Just want to share with you what you know what I mean? Like my experience and stuff like that. I'm glad it helps. Tyne said, Professor, don't give up. Patience is key, brother. Your individual roles should complement each other instead of compete with each other. Exactly, bro. Listen, we're in a generation where we're being taught because of social media, right? You have to get it while you can get it. You have to get your own. You got to secure the bag. And if you got to cut off people and trample people to get it, this is, excuse me to say, satanic. This is not how the world works, okay? The people who are doing those things, who are manipulating, treating people like trash, fine, they may be more wealthy than everyone else, but they're not good people. You want to be able to, I call it being righteous and rich. You want to be able to make a lot of money and still retain your morals. Don't sell your soul for a paycheck, okay? Like if I come on here and I start every live, I have girls twerking in my live, I may get a lot of views, but I'm destroying a whole generation because I'm overly stimulating them with things that they may not be able to handle. Self-control is the reason why people become millionaire and lose it in the same time. Like you have to, we're in a society where everybody just is self-centered, but that's not how God made the world. God made the world in such a way that I can't live without you. That's how it works. The reason why people are on this live is because I'm sharing something, but without the need from what I'm sharing, there's no purpose for me to be on live. You see what I'm saying? So the way it works is that everything's a transaction. I'm sharing what I've learned over time. You guys are receiving it. And what I get out of that is your friendship, your viewership, your subscription, your relationship. What you get out of it is maybe some of those and maybe the knowledge that you were searching for somewhere. That's how it works. So the more I help you, the more you help me. And it's not from a standpoint of like, yeah, I'm going to get like 100 million subscribers. It's more so like if I continue to help you guys and you guys grow, I will also in turn be blessed. You know that story in the Bible where Jesus feeds 5,000 men, not counting women and children, but just men alone. There was like 5,000. So you can already do the math. If the men alone were 5,000, how many women, right? Because women, there's more women than men, and then women have children. So let's just call it 15K, maybe even 20K, no problem. Well, 10K. So Jesus feeds about 5 to 10,000 people, no problem. At the end, the Bible says after they shared all the bread and all the loaves of bread and fishes, Jesus told his disciples to go gather the crumbs. And the Bible says that when they gathered the crumbs, they each got a basket full of bread. And the moral of that story is that when you help people and you pour into people, you get enough for yourself. You see, everybody who ate that day got one loaf of bread, one fish. The disciples got a basket full of bread. That means when I help you and you guys grow and you do better, you might say, hey, bro, let me send you something for your birthday, or let me buy you a gift, or let me subscribe to whatever you got going on. And out of me helping you and you, let's say, paying or sponsoring me, whatever the case is, I will also do well. That's how the economy is supposed to work. Is that when we help each other, we're all supposed to benefit and grow and make money. It's why, like, if you come from a mindset of, I got to save my money, not spend, you always be poor. The economy works when people are spending money. If I hire 5 of you guys on this live right now, and I pay you guys all, let's say, $1,000 a month, right? What will happen? Let's say it's DJ, Yolomi, and some other people. DJ and Yolomi now have $1,000. Guess what they got to do? They got to pay rent. They got to buy groceries. They got to pay for their car. So when Yolomi and DJ go to the grocery store, They buy groceries from the grocery store. The grocery store has employees. He's going to take some of that money, buy some of the fruits and the stock back, pay some of the employees. Those employees will now take their money and go and pay their bills. And everybody will get a piece of the pie, and the money circulates. And when the money circulates and people don't feel like there's a lack of money, the economy flows. It's stimulated because people can spend. The reason why the U.S. is so rich is because they're high in... Babe, come. Don't come on live, but just say hi one more time. Everybody was saying hi to you.
them before.
Yeah, but they were saying hi back.
Hi, foreign money family. Are you showing them my country?
Yeah. They were. One of the guys is from Aruba.
Oh.
So yeah, he was like, and somebody asked where you're from. Did you guys see saying hi? Can you hear her?
Hi, is Yoso there?
Who? Yolomi?
Yes.
Yeah, Yolomi's in here. She said hi. Yolomi said hi earlier.
Hello. Okay, I gotta go.
You gotta go, right? Yeah, you're gonna be late to
Yeah.
open up. Got you. All right, guys. She said hi one more time, so she's gotta run. But again, one of these days I'll bring her on stream. All right. Okay, baby. Love you.
All right, love you too. Bye.
Bye. So yeah, what was I saying? So yeah, so if you come from a mindset of like, oh, I gotta make my money and keep it, it doesn't work. When you spend, it goes into the economy. Other people have money, and then the economy is stimulated. When people have a lack of money and they save, guess what happens? Nobody buys, and then the people who are selling don't make money, and then they withhold, and they make things more expensive, and we just get screwed. We have to help each other. All right. So again, not trying to preach to you guys, but I just think the way things are nowadays, man, is so crazy. People just have the wrong idea about how the world works. All the businesses I've ever started, they're all service. That's why Jesus, when he himself came, he said, I came not to serve, to be served, but to serve. That's how things grow. When you serve people, right? People don't want to serve. Now, everybody wants to be a boss, drive a Bugatti and be like, yeah, I made it. The reason why you got the Bugatti is because you offered some service or product that other people needed. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You made it because you helped. The best businesses in the world solve problems or help people. Bottom line. Maybe not Coca-Cola. I don't know. They be selling poison low-key, but you know what I mean? Like in the beginning, well, they offer cold drinks. And on a hot day, those of you from the Caribbean, nothing's like a Coke and a nice drink or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so you guys get what I'm saying, right? Let's see. Trying to say equal in value, different in roles. God made us all one, man. It's insane. Money Hunter said 100. DJ said 100. Kata said, Machiavelli said you need power to have an impact on people. Man, you guys gonna make me like preach up and say, I'm just gonna say amen. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, bro, right, Zaki say Yahoo. DJ say hey. Oh, they were saying hi to my wife. Yeah, she's gone, guys, but she was saying hi to you guys. I'll bring her on stream one of these days so you guys can meet her. Maybe we'll talk to you guys about how this whole thing goes. Those of you guys who are still, you know what I mean, looking for partners or wanting to do well in life, let me tell you another thing as well. I lost my father last year, and it's gonna be about 1 year since he's passed. All I thought about after all the money I spent and everything I did with him, all I thought about when he was gone were the things he asked me for that I didn't do. The dumbest things. Like he asked me to, I don't know, write him a letter. I'm like, oh, Dad, I'm kind of busy right now. Can I do it later? And let's say someone else did it. I'd be like, man, I should have wrote the letter. Why? Because when people are gone, all you have is your memories. And all you think about is your most intimate times, all the things you could have done for them and all the things you shared with them. And when they're gone, you will mostly reflect on missed opportunities. That's why if you are alive today, and you have to be on this live, live life in value in the sense of your experiences and not money. Money comes and goes, guys. I've been very broke, okay? To the point of, like I was telling you guys, standing in lines and being homeless and all that stuff, almost being homeless, okay? And now by God's grace, I don't worry about money. But what has changed in my life is not the clothes I can buy or the cars I can drive. God was always blessing me with those by his grace. It's the experiences I can have, listen carefully, with the people around me. The reason why Colombia, even though it kind of got sour in the end, was still amazing is because of my wife. It's because I got to spend time with my wife and do those things with my wife. It has nothing to do with how much money we spent or what we actually did. It was I have a drone. I'll probably put it in a vlog. I'm planning to put this whole trip in a vlog. You guys will see we did this one thing where we had a drone and we were walking on a glass bridge, over like the mountains and stuff. That was amazing to do with my wife. That's it. Had nothing to do with the glass bridge or the drone. It's just the fact that experience was with my wife. So it's the people in our lives that give value. All of you guys who want to prove your parents wrong and stuff, those are the people you care about. It's why you're working so hard, right? So if you enjoy time with your family or the people God has placed in your life, that's where the blessings of life come from. Okay. And I know some of us come from places where family don't support. They'll come around. Make yourself a better person. And if you're too lonely, ask God to bring you a companion, even if it's not someone of the opposite sex where you want to marry them or grow a different relationship with. Sometimes a brother or a sister can help you go a long way. You just need two people who agree. As the Bible says, one can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000. Okay, this is the strategy my wife and I have. Two of us. When I got married, I told her our mindset needs to be me, you versus the world. No mom and dad can come between us. No family, nobody. It has to be me and you above all things. And we've been together. November will be 10 years. All right, so do with that what you will. People are saying, hey, amen. Haha, today 24-hour stream. I can't do 24 hours. I was supposed to go at 12:30, but I miss you guys, man. And I didn't stream for a whole week. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to give you guys the most. When you guys are like, oh, we'll probably maybe wrap it up in the next 10 or 15. But I enjoy spending time with you guys. I missed you guys while I was gone. Titan said, my condolences, brother. I appreciate you, Titan. Thank you so much. Money Hunter said, I hear you there. Appreciate you, brother. Congrats on 10 years, brother. Thank you as well, Titan. The condolences thing, I just gonna quickly glaze over it because the last time somebody brought it up, I think it was Bob FX. He made me cry on stream. I was started talking about my dad, and then out of nowhere emotions came, which is weird because I think about him, I see his pictures, and it doesn't bring me to tears. But when I think of the man he was and stuff like that, then it gets me emotional. So thank you for the condolences. I'm just saying all this to say, guys, cherish the people in your lives. I know some people are awful. Trust me, I know. When my dad was alive, not that he was awful, he was a great guy, but he was very strict, right? I couldn't even, bro, I'm in my 20s telling my dad about a girl I want to talk to or a girl that I met. And he'd be like, you go to hell. You go to hell. You cannot fornicate. Every fornicate. I'm like, Dad, just hear me out, bro. He would just go crazy, right? Because he came from a background where like, you got to live in righteousness and holiness. And when you're of age, you approach somebody by courting them. In our languages, in our tradition, it's called ko means it's like you make your intentions known to the family. So you go with your parents to go see the parents' family and let them know, hey, this is what they say. One of our people have found a flower in your garden and he wants to pluck the flower, but before he wants to bring you something to appetize you. Right? And we do this whole traditional thing. So you go and see the family, you bring some drinks, right? Coke, Sprite, Fanta, all that stuff as a, kind of like a gesture or a token of kindness. And then they go and they're like, okay, you make your intentions known. They'll be like, so who is it that you like? And then they'll bring the girl. And sometimes when it's really theatrical, what they'll do is that they'll have like 5 different girls wear a veil. And then they'll be like, all right, is this her? And then you'll pull up the veil and some next girl you've never seen in your life. You're like, hell no, that's not her. And then they'll bring the next one. And it's all fun and games. And then eventually your wife-to-be comes out and you're like, is that her? And you're like, yeah. And everyone's like, hey. Then you do what's called a traditional engagement or a traditional wedding. So after that, you do the wedding. In our country, back in the day, they used to bring cows, bulls, and things like that. Because of modern technology, basically, this is how it goes. You have to pay what's called a bride price, which means you pay the parents a certain amount of money from taking their daughter. And people are like, oh, you're selling your daughter. Listen, you guys understand this, okay? Stop trying to get into this modern age. Everything is sexist, misogynist. There's something called wealth transfer, okay? This is just a way to move money from one family, one economy to the next. That's why these things exist. You're not being sold. It's a way, because guess what? If you come from a poor family, right? And let's say your sister is getting married and the husband comes from a rich family, they pay a heavy bride price. You know what happens to that family? That family can now buy a land, start a business, and start to get things going. It's just wealth transfer. It's not necessarily somebody being sold. So anyways, in my culture, that's how it's done. So you do a nice traditional engagement. So back in the day, you would have to bring a goat, a cow, a bull, something. You know what I mean? In these days, the moms will tell you, because you have to give, if she has 5 brothers, you got to give them all money. If she has sisters, you got to give them all stuff. Then you got to give the parents stuff. So you'd bring like suitcases full of stuff. These days, they'd be like, the African mothers, I want iPhone 16. Like, Jesus Christ, bro. And I also want MacBook. You're like, oh my God, I'm gonna go broke. Then the father be like, me, I want Lamborghini. You have to buy me Lamborghini. Like, bro, I don't have Lambo money, right? But it's all fun and jokes. But basically, there are things that you actually have to buy. So they'll give you a list. And it's sometimes, like my sister's wedding, there was MacBooks in there, blenders, toasters, clothes, you name it. And everybody, all the brothers, we got like, I think 5 bills each or 1,000 each or something like that. You know what I mean? So you do all this, and then finally you do the white wedding, which is, we call it white wedding not because it's a white people thing. It's a white wedding because you wear a white gown, right? So we do the white wedding, which over here is like a wedding ceremony. And then, yeah, you know what I mean? And then you get married. So I don't even know why I brought this up, guys. I don't know where I went with this, but long story short, enjoy, okay? Enjoy the times you have with your family and with your loved ones, okay? I think I was talking about my dad and how great he was and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I was saying that. So he comes from a background where that's the way to do things. Where in these days, people go backwards, right? People get pregnant first, move in after, and then if they're lucky, they get married, which is insane. It's just not supposed to work like that, right? So things happen. Not everybody plans to get pregnant. I understand. I'm just saying, like, that's where he came from. So when I would bring things like that to him, he was very strict. But one thing my dad never did is he never spared me the truth. And as a result, I became the man that I am today. He always told me the truth. He always told me what was right to do. And he was not hard on me, but strict with me. And it helped me to be disciplined. Because if not for my dad, I'd probably be in prison. Or probably have like 15 baby mamas. Trust me. So, Marcus Adrian said fire. Thank you. Could you repeat the name of the tradition of the flower? Sounds interesting. You just want to laugh again, or you actually want to hear the traditional thing again? If you want to hear it again, this is basically what happened. So there's something called ko, which is translated like knock, knock, knock. But it's basically two families come together. The family of the son is going to respectfully meet the family of the daughter whom you're interested in, right? To let their intentions be known that my son has an interest in your daughter. That way, if you see them in the street, the dad doesn't chase you with a machete and say, what are you doing with my daughter, right? It's so that everybody's on the same page, like, oh, these two people like each other. Now, at that time, you're not supposed to touch each other. You're supposed to, you can go out on dates and all that stuff. You'll probably still kiss and stuff, right? You're a human being. Your blood will be flowing like lava from the volcanoes of the earth, right? But you're not supposed to be intimate, okay? You made your intention known, and then when you're ready, which should be quickly because you've already saw an interest in her, you do what's called the traditional engagement. Traditional engagement or wedding, depending on certain cultures, sometimes it's enough as a wedding. You can live together, do everything. But in my culture, nowadays, it's more like you do the knock-knock, you do the traditional engagement, and then you do the wedding. So with the knock-knock, you come over. When you come to make your intentions known, there's a Bible verse that says, do not appear before the Lord empty-handed. And this is a rule that goes to a lot of things. Back in the day, when you went to go see a king, if I was going to go see the prime minister or the president, you don't just go and say, hey, buddy, how's it going? You bring a gift to show that you appreciate them taking the time to speak with you because of the class or the level that they're at. So when you go to your wife's house, your wife to be's house, you bring something to show, one, that you appreciate them taking the time. Two, this is a token, a gesture of gratitude for hearing me out. And then three, you also want to show as a man you're somewhat capable. So you bring as much drinks as you can to show, yeah, like I got it like that. I could buy drinks every day of the week, right? So that's how it usually goes. And then everybody has a good time. They talk about things, and the traditional part, they do this thing. Sometimes like in my culture, they'll do this thing where it's like court. So a family representative will stand up, right, and be like, and so he will have his mic, Adophonom, which is like beloved, right? I won't speak that language. Long story short, today we're gathered here because somebody said that they have something to tell us, blah, blah, blah. So let's hear them out. Do you guys agree? And they'll say, ayo. Then after the other side, which be, let's say my side, would be like, thank you all for coming today. One of our sons has seen a flower, very beautiful flower, very fantastic flower he has seen, and he wants to pluck it from your garden. So we are here to negotiate the plucking of your flower, right? And then they go back and forth, and then so the guy will stand up again and go like, okay, have you guys heard what he said? What do you guys think? Should we let him? And then somebody will say, what did he bring for us? And then he will say, very good. Excuse me, yeah, young man, stand up. And he will stand up and he'll be like, what did you bring for us? And just back and forth. It's a bit theatrics and stuff like that. Now, most of the time when you're young, you're nervous, right? It's all eyes on you. This is like people rent wedding halls for this stuff. And everybody's watching you, and then they'll ask you questions. Why should you marry our daughter? What do you do for a living? God help you if you say something like, I work at McDonald's. Jesus Lord, you shouldn't have come that day, bro. Because if it's one thing with our culture, they want men who have good titles, okay? They won't understand. It's not like today where it'll be like, I'm working at McDonald's, but I'm trading or something, and I got something going on, and soon it should work out. Or I have a business, it's not really profitable, but in the next 10 years or 5 years, it should be, no. You don't say something that sounds good right there and then you're going into some heat, bro. It gets nuts. Professor said, honestly, today's live has been fire. Hey, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it, bro. I don't mind this. I love you guys, man. I love chilling with you guys, chopping it up. If this helps you guys understand culture and makes things better for you guys, we don't always have to do trading, you know what I mean? So I'm glad you guys are having fun. Titan is laughing. Or DJ Mustang's laughing at Titan. And Professor, you always crack me up when you speak with that African accent. Yeah, man. I'm African, so you see it all the time. Our accent is slightly different from Nigerians. Nigerians have a little bit of a more, their accent just has a certain like twang to it. But yeah, African accents are the best in my opinion. But yeah, man, so that's how the culture goes. So after you do that, it's really cool because then now you can be seen with your girlfriend, your wife to be, your fiance, whatever you want to call it at the time. And there is no judgment because, like, we grew up in church too, right? So God help you if a member sees you, bro. I hope Yolomi's still here. I know she knows this. If you are caught with a female outside of church, you can't come back, bro. The way they're gonna deal with you is gonna be crazy. Because first off, Africans, this is what they do. They call your parents. Before they call your parents, they call like 10 other people, but they call your parents. My dad's name was Chris. Good evening, Chris, or good evening, sir. And he'd be like, good evening. How can I help you? I just want to, I know you're a great man. I know you say you are a child of God. I just want to it's not that I'm gossiping, but I want you to know that your son, let's say my name is Money, right? Or Foreign Money. Is your son's name Foreign Money? I'm like, yes. Is he, they won't get straight to the point. Is he maybe kind of tall or kind of short? Is he dark or whatever the case is? You're like, yes. Lord, help me. I don't want to lie. I think I saw him. Yes. He was with a fair colored girl. And, Lord, forgive me. I think they were doing something sinful, But I said, is this Mr. Christensen? No, can't be. Mr. Christensen is a good boy. Meanwhile, they're lying. They're so happy to share this gossip that they caught you outside of church with the next girl, bro. It's crazy. So by the time they hype up the whole story about how they saw your son with the girl outside, especially if you have a good reputation in church, when you get home, your dad is waiting for you with a belt, bro. You come home, he's like, how are you? Like, I'm good, Dad. You good? I'm fine. Have a seat. When you hear have a seat, you're cooked. You're cooked. I remember one time I came home, my parents were like, yo, get in the car. I'm like, to go where? They're like, get in the car. I'm like, all right. Bro, listen, African parents, man, shout out to them. They made us who we are. And now we are the men of our generation, and we got to make a difference for our children and the future ones coming up. But, I remember all these stories, and I just miss him sometimes and stuff. And my mom is still alive by God's grace. I'm supposed to see her soon as well. So, oh, man, in my culture, you still a girl and go back to their family when you have 2 kids. Bro, that is wild, bro. Couldn't be Ghana. Could not be Ghana. Because, there's this one guy. He got this girl pregnant, right? When the dad found out he was there while the girl was giving birth, every second, the dad would just turn to the guy and just slap him. Like, every second. He'd just be there. Every second, bro. That guy ate so many slaps that day, bro. His cheek was like... I went to another one. A guy got a girl pregnant while he was in school. So in my language, they would say, "Eyakwasia," which means you're a fool. But it's a very vulgar way of saying you're a fool. It's almost like the F word, right? And the whole meeting, that was like, "Eyakwasia." Minim da eyakwasia dam eyakwasia papa eyakwasia. E gunyini ni mas eyakwasia. Ha! Minim da jim dam eyakwasia. Bro, just imagine your parents saying you're an effing idiot, like the whole meeting, bro. And Africans, they never do this in private. Where like, okay, so if you get a girl pregnant, it should be your parents, maybe their parents talking. They call the whole family. You get to the living room, right? Your cousins you haven't seen in like 15 years. Your uncles and aunts they've come from a different country. They've come from the US, Ghana, whatever. Everyone's in the living room waiting for you, and it's just like a it's just like a fest to just destroy you. And it's like their way of the family showing that they don't condone it. They do this to you publicly in front of your peers and your family to show that just because you did something they don't agree with doesn't mean they support you. It's to let everybody know we didn't raise him like that. He's not supposed to be like that, right? So it's like I said, it's super interesting. What's it called? Marcus said, seems like an awesome place. That's Vincent. Bro, it's beautiful. You gotta go. It's absolutely beautiful, man. A person said, I DJ Mustang. Same here in Kenya. People just have babies and then go visit the parents afterwards. Bro, to be honest, to be fair with you, Ghana's turning into like that slightly. It's because, remember, I don't know how your culture is. The American culture is cross-pollinating the whole world. Because of what we see in the West, everybody's so used to people having kids way before marriage. Everybody's so used to people. Listen, when I was growing up, right, when you say I'm talking to a girl, it means the two of you were dating. Okay, dating. In this generation, people sleep together and say we're still like talking, like as in we're still getting to know each other, and we're not in a relationship, and they're sleeping together. Even from my time when we were out here playing people, that's wild. If you were hooking up with somebody, you might be a player, but you claimed the person. At least in the places where you could publicly do it, right? If you had a roster of women, you claim one here, you claim one, but you get my point. In this generation, people are doing all sorts of stuff and be like, yeah, it's complicated. We're not really dating. I'm like, and you guys are sleeping. Wow. Anyways, things have changed. Um, DJ Mustang said, oh, Marcus Agent said, did you ever get caught like that? Yeah, a couple times, bro. It was not cool. I never got that type of humiliation, but I did get like, the sit down and the talk. And when I met my wife, I remember I had to tell my parents that I was interested in my wife and stuff like that. But when people found out I was talking to her, everyone's like, him? Because I never messed with nobody in church. There's one thing I just did not do. I didn't mess with nobody in church. So people were shocked when they found out I was talking to my wife. And the crazy thing is that I have a niece. Her name's Sierra. Love that girl. I love that girl to bits. When she was young, really young, I think at the time her dad was in prison, so we used to babysit her. And from the first day I met her, we just bonded. When she would come and sleep over, she couldn't sleep without sleeping on my chest. So as she got older, she started to think I was her dad. So she used to call me daddy. Now this caused a lot of problems because we'd go somewhere, she'd start crying. What happened, daddy? I want daddy. Now there's one African lady. Her name is Linda. She goes, she came to see my dad, and then Sarah came up, jumped in my lap, playing with me and stuff. She gave me this look like, oh, I knew it. I knew you one of them dirty boys out here making kids all over the place. So she eventually, I'm looking at her. She's looking at me. I'm like, hi. She's like, is that your daughter? I'm like, no, it's my niece. She's like, She gave me this look like, yeah, you can fool everybody, but not me. I know that's your kid. And everywhere I went, people are like, are you sure that's not your daughter? Because she used to call me dad. So that created some confusion. I don't know, Marcus. Long story short, I've had a couple events myself. Nothing too crazy by God's grace. Yeah, let's see. So Professor said, wait, are you from Kenya? At Professor, oh yeah, so he's asking him. Titan said, nah, slap him is crazy. Bro, it's even worse when you're there, bro. It's insane. Professor, yeah, I am DJ Mustang. How about you? DJ said, me too. Okay, so they're talking. What? So cool. All right, cool. Money Hunter said, you're still young, man. I don't know if you're referring to me or someone else. He said, I stay. Okay, so he's somewhere he stays. Marcus says, facts, bro. The hookup culture is ruining society for sure. Absolutely. It's crushing. People don't understand. Like, I'm not going to get too deep into it because that's a different topic. But guys, I 1,000% believe with Marcus. You guys will not understand this now until you get married. When you find somebody you really love and you want to be serious, oh man, y'all got some demons to battle. Trust me. I totally love Foreign's Live, and I'm happy we are two Kenyans on here. Yeah, man. Shout out to Kenya. I've met some Kenyan people. Y'all are some solid human beings. I've never had any issues with any Kenyans at all. Ever. I'd be lying if I said I at one point met a Kenyan and they were terrible. Y'all are some of the greatest people I've ever met. So shout out to you guys. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the live. All right, this is the last time. Let's call this at I've been streaming since what, like 11? It's almost 1 now. So yeah, about 2 hours. Okay, let's call this at 1:30. Capiche? Let's all agree. 1:30? Everybody okay with that? 1:30. I'm gonna hop off and I'm gonna, because I have a lot that's waiting for me, right? But today's Labor Day, so it's a holiday, so that's why we're kind of chilling. Like my wife didn't even want to go to work, but because we had to miss one of our flights, we had to reschedule some of our clients, right? So that she could. And we're going back to the US later on. I might, go live while I'm in the States for you guys to see what I'm doing over there. Traveling, I don't want to say I love traveling. Traveling is so painful sometimes, bro. The process is so annoying. But I do love the experiences of traveling to other countries. What I loved about going to Colombia is it gives you appreciation for what you have, and then also helps you to understand the world on a broader scale and understand different cultures and things like that. I went around with a guy named Oscar. Shout out to Oscar. Super cool, though. One of the best human beings I ever met in my life. So it was awesome. But yeah, man, I'm glad you guys are enjoying the live. You know what I mean? I'm just sharing some my experiences with you guys, being an African growing up in Canada and stuff like that. Oh, guys, by the way, I went back home for 3 years. So those of you guys who are from Africa, okay, and like have gone to school in Africa, listen to this. So my dad has businesses. He has businesses here and he had some in Africa. And you guys know this, right? If you're from abroad and you're sending money for someone to help you build something, do something, they're taking some of your money. You just can't avoid it, right? But this situation got really bad to the point where my dad had to go himself because the person he was sending money to was trying to build their own house with my dad's money. So it was really bad. So long story short, we had to go to Ghana for 3 years. I left when I was in grade 9. Okay, so I had just turned 13 because I'm born in October, so my birthday is late. In grade 9, you're supposed to be 14, I think, or 13. Yeah, I think 13. So I just turned 13. So we had to go to Ghana for 3 years. Bro, I did not know, because when I was in high school here, right? When I was in school here, guess what I do? I don't go to class. I play ball, talk to girls. That's it, right? And play games. You don't take education seriously. Then I went to Ghana. And those of you who are from Africa, you know this. The education in Africa is far higher than the grade levels we have here in the West. The only time they start getting close, or the US or other countries beat them, is when you come to advanced science and advanced education, because they have different tools and research and all these things. That's where they beat them. But in terms of like high level education, it's in Africa. That's why I know nurses who have come from like Ghana who could barely pass the nursing exam there and are doctors here. Different level of education because it's easier over here. So I went to Ghana. My dad took me, right? Me, my little brother, my little sister. With my dumb self, didn't know a damn thing. First day I get to class, everybody already knows you're from Canada, right? So they didn't even call me by my name. They would call me Canada. So even the teacher, first day, Canada, stand up. I'm like, me? You, yes. What is the difference between faithful and fate? I've never, like, I know the term. You know how to use words, but you've never defined it. So you've never had to say, well, the difference between faithful. So I was like, and I was nervous, right? So you guys don't know me, but all my life I've had a fear of stage fright. Stage fright means like whenever you stand in front of people or whenever you have to perform in front of people, you like shut down. So my throat would start to clump up to the point where it's hard to breathe. I can hear my heartbeat in my ears. My chest tightens up. My knees start to knock. I become nervous. I stutter. And right there and then, Canada, stand up. Bro, my whole body started shutting down. I'm like, oh my God. They're like, what is the difference between faithful and fit? Faithful, as in, I'll type it right here like this. What's the difference between faithful and fateful? Okay? That's what they were asking me. Yeah, they seriously call me Canada, bro. That's what they call me. The teachers. Canada, stand up. Man, I was a target all year because I was from Canada. It was so bad. So they're like, Canada, stand up. What's the difference between faithful and fateful? Obviously, I know the difference now from that experience. And I knew the difference back then. But here's where I messed up. I was trying to explain to them that to be faithful, right, has to do with like, one, being committed to something, or even when it comes to like faith and stuff like that, your belief in something, your long-term belief, commitment, or whatever. I was trying to explain like faithful has to do more with like your faith and your commitment to something and your belief in a system, let's say. But long story short, right? And then fateful has to do with like your destiny, your, a point in your life, like your fate and stuff like that. But I was like, well, to be faithful is, like to have faith. And bro, that's all they heard. For the next like 3 months, all I remember was say, to be faithful is fat. To be faithful is to be fat. That's all I heard for like 3 months. For 3 months. Because they were like, bro, how are you from Canada and don't know nothing, right? And then to make things worse, when we started doing, bro, when I was in high school here in Canada, we were learning like basic math, right? Sometimes we do a bit of algebra. But we were still doing some of those, like if Johnny has 10 apples and he gives 6 to Sandra, how many apples does he have? We were still doing stuff like that. We did have a bit of, especially in other schools, you do have a bit of biology, chemistry, but it's basic. And I wasn't paying attention in class. When I got to Ghana, Jesus Lord, the first scientist that came in, he's like, you are from Canada, eh? Oh, Canada has good maths and science. Their gumption is great for that. He's like, so then they start. So this is the first question they asked. A hunter went to go shoot, right, an animal when he was hunting to kill an animal. He shoots the bullet. The bullet grazes the back of the animal, hits the tree, and ricochets off the tree and injures another animal. The question was, at what force did that bullet hit the tree after hitting the animal, and what was the velocity after the infraction? I said, huh? I'm like, these guys think I'm Bill Nye the Science Guy, bro? What is this? These guys think I'm Isaac Newton? And you know how it is. Canada, stand up. What's his infraction and reflection? I'm like, bro, I don't know. You tell me, you're the teacher. You know what I mean? Like, I'm tripping, bro. I don't understand nothing. Then we went into chemistry. And the teacher, all she knew how to ask was, do you see it? As in, do you see it? We were learning in chemistry how to create chemicals and name new ones. Bro, what the hell? Bro, is Ghana like low-key like a NASA lab that is undercover or something, bro? The things we were solving and learning, I've never heard of them in my life. Biology, the things we learned. Oh my gosh, bro, man, I was struggling. I was seeing moons and stars first day of class. They're like, yes, so the gamma ray of the X function goes under the immediate. I'm like, huh? You know what I mean? I'm coming from like, hey, yo, bro, we saying after class, bro. Or, yo, you want to dip? Like, we're in class. We're like, yo, you want to go play ball? Like, yeah, all right. We cut class, go play ball. Then when we're coming back, we're talking to the girls. Hey, it was good. And then now they're asking me to solve the formulas of life. You can imagine how much torture I went through in Africa, bro. DJ must professor, okay. You must have had a target on your back 24/7. Bro, I had a target on my back all the time. Then we have seniors, right? So when you're in grade 9 at the time, you're in junior. Then they have the seniors, the older guys, right? Kind of like the sophomores. And they come, hey, where's the guy from Canada? Like, that's me. Canada, stand up. You know what they ask me to do when they come? You're from Canada? Stand up. Okay. Give us a freestyle. We want to hear you rap. Like, I'm not a rapper. Rap for us. I'm like, all right. So then I remembered this one rap from 50 Cent. So I started spitting 50 Cent's lyrics. They're like, hey, Canada, you're going to make us rich. You're going to make music. I'm like, no, please. Like, I copied that. I couldn't tell them, right? I copied that freestyle from 50 Cent. That ain't my bars, bro. When that was done, they were so impressed. They're like, bro, we're going places. I'm like, no, bro. I had a long story short. I had a target on my back for everything. Everything was Canada. Everything was Canada. So here's what happened. Marcus said, dang, bro. DJ Man said, awesome. Okay, he's responding. And then Raizaki said, are they trolling you? Oh, yeah. They were trolling me all the time. So this is what happened. Everybody was trying to mess with me, right? Because I speak the language. My parents taught us the language when we were in Canada, so I speak it fluently, and I understand every word. So people would be shaking your hand and telling you your mom's at this, your dad's at that, because they think you don't understand. I played that role for about 6 months. One day I started to speak to everybody in the language in class. The whole class went silent. They're like, wait, you understand the language? I'm like, yeah. Everyone after that left me alone. Everyone. No one bothered me. No one tried to troll me. Nothing. Everyone left me alone because they felt ashamed. They didn't realize the whole time I heard every word they said. So that's why sometimes in life you got to play low-key. Like when we went to Colombia, I didn't take none of my jewelry or nothing like that when we go to certain places because I used to travel with like heavy ice and all that stuff. And I went to one place, a lady told me, don't do that. I was going to be easy picking. So when we used to go to those places, you used to get a lot of looks. People look at you weird. You feel unsafe. Now I just go low-key as I can. I don't even wear name brand clothes when I go out. I just go like, I'll wear some nice looking clothes, but nothing crazy. People still watch you then because they can tell you're not from there. But I'm left alone because they don't look at me like, okay, this guy's got something. But I've learned that when you play dumb or you play low-key or you just play like you don't really know what's going on or you just keep it on the low, your life is much better. Much, much better. Professor, haha, so true. Education in Africa is legit intense. It's no joke, bro. Like, bro, we had a, how long were you there learning there? 3 years. I was there for 3 years. We had this guy from Ghana. He came to Canada, right? And, bro, every single question the teacher asked in physics class, he had an answer. So people started trolling him. They're like, bro, this guy has like 4 brains, one for math, one for English, one for science, and the other one for geography, right? And they would like mess with him. And they'd be like, they keep bothering him. Let's say his name was Kojo. Be like, hey, Kojo. They kept bothering him. And one day he stood up. He said, oh, clear off. All of you, clear off. And that did not help his situation, right? Because they're like, clear off. What does that mean? I started trolling him, right? So long story short, it was a learning experience. Here's what I learned from going to Ghana for 3 years. I saw what people would give, how they would kill for the opportunities I had in Canada that I was wasting. I saw that people there were selling land, property, and everything they could to put their kids through school, and I didn't want to learn. So when I came back, I promised myself I was going to do much better and take life seriously. I wasn't going to be a waste. I wasn't going to waste the opportunity and the gift I had of being born in Canada. So when I came back, mind you, I was like a D student before I went. When I came back, my average was 96% in school. 96%. That's how serious I was, right? But then I dropped out of college twice, so... kind of like, it's because I didn't think it was for me. All right, things didn't go the way that I expected, so it wasn't that great. But that was my experience in Ghana, bro. I was there for 3 years. All right, a lot of stuff happened, and then I didn't date anybody there. Like I dated 2 girls just to say like I have a girlfriend, but I'd never touched them. I was so scared, bro. And I know this is so wrong, guys. I apologize for what I'm about to say, but somebody told me that AIDS was rampant in Africa, right? Which is not true, but that's what I heard before I went. So that was one. And then number 2, I was scared that somebody was gonna try and use me to come back. So I just didn't touch anyone. I was there for 3 years. I did not touch a single female. Not one. So I guess I had the discipline in me way before. You know what I mean? So, anyways, just I don't even know how we got here, but memories. So yeah, man, that's how my life was in Ghana. That's how my trip was in Colombia. And last but not least, that's how our trading has been going today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream and the live so far. I'm definitely going to be back tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow I don't trade, so even though the market's back to normal, I'll be here doing free analysis for you guys. So if you guys want to meet me up in the morning, probably around 9:30 to 10, like 9:30 to 10, so we can do an analysis for you guys to do trade, we'll do that. I'm going to be starting the Forex challenge soon and other things as well. You know what I mean? So I think I'm going to, as much as I'm enjoying my time with you guys, I think I'm going to call it here and I will pick back up tomorrow. If you haven't seen my Instagram, I know Marcus has. Marcus, were you here when I was talking about the lady that everybody thought was, well, not everybody, but somebody thought was my wife in the red jumpsuit? You probably saw her in my stories. But anyways, long story short, we had a lot of fun today. It was amazing. If you guys haven't seen how my trip was in Colombia, go back and check my stories. I'm going to add the rest of the stories to my highlights so you guys can see my trip in Colombia. All right. For those of you who were paying attention and were there the whole time, shout out to y'all and everybody who messaged me. I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys. With that being said, I'm going to call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful start to September. And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace and love, everybody. Love you guys. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Marcus. He said another awesome sesh. And I didn't see the lady. I'll show you, bro. I'll talk to you off camera. All right, you guys have a good night. Good night. Good day.